kind of excited because this weekend is Adam 2's birthday, but next weekend I'm taking him on a trip, and I'm really excited for the trip because it's something I've never done before. I can't say what it is, just in case he sees this, but I'll tell you guys all about it afterwards. Last time we played this, we had the true ending done, and I think that's all we did. We've gotten all of the main game done. Now we just have to do the side stuff and then the files. It's good. Started working on enrolling in school. Ooh, what type of school? What are you going for? I need to start going back to the gym again. Just side note. Make sure you guys can hear the game. I always have to double check that because my Elgato kind of screws up. Natsuki! While Natsuki is messing with the orientation of her manga in the closet shelves, Sayori approaches from behind and pulls her into an embrace. What? Hi! Hi. The literature club has been in full swing since Natsuki joined. Including her, the club is now comprised of 4 members. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monika. Each club member had received a day in the spotlight to share all of their favorite kinds of literature with each other. Natsuki was first and shared her passion for manga. Then Sayori shared her love for poetry as well as how she goes about writing it herself. Monika, who has multiple literary interests, decided to focus her day on short stories. Sports medicine. That sounds like a really good job and really fancy, really smart. Probably way smarter than I could understand. But I think you'll do great. How many years do you have to be in school for that? Finally, Yuri managed to demonstrate her obsession with fantasy with a little help and encouragement from Sayori. After the week was spent on their presentations, Monika decided to give the club members this next week to freely explore each other's literary interests. Sayori, having spent most of her time in the club so far with Yuri's fantasy books, is rather excited to begin her journey into Natsuki's manga collection. I want to read with you today. Tell me which one I should pick. Well, that depends on the kind of stuff you like. I mean, there's like romance, drama, comedy, mystery. I like all of those things. Sayori reaches out and pulls a random book from the shelf and inspects the cover. Shouldn't this girl be wearing more clothes? You wouldn't like that one. In a panic, Natsuki snatches the book from Sayori's hand, then replaces it on the shelf in a less conspicuous location. Okay, well, if you really have no preference, then let's just start with something that's easy to get into. A lot of these don't start to get really good until like a few volumes in, and I wouldn't ask someone to make that kind of commitment unless they're already really into manga. I can handle it. I did it with Yuri's book at least. Well, I'm more considerate than that, although I'm kind of impressed by your attention span if you put that much effort into her books. No, I have an attention span of a donut. But I love my friends, and I can do anything if it's for them. Well, okay then. Pick you something that even donuts can read. I didn't say I was a donut. I just said I had the attention span of one. Aw, were you just trying to call me sweet? You're so cute. No, how did you get that conclusion? Don't call me that. A donut? Cute. Aw, how come? I just don't like it. I don't need a reason. Natsuki yanks a book from the shelf and closes the closet doors. Someone asks you to stop, then you just need to stop. People need to realize that. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to hurt you. Nah, sorry. It wasn't you. Natsuki shakes her head while pulling a second chair over to her desk. I was talking about something else. I didn't mean to get angry all of a sudden. Natsuki averts her gaze and mumbles. You're like a nice person, so I wasn't talking about you. I still learned a valuable lesson. Sayori speaks softly as well, feeling shy after receiving the unexpected compliment. Well, anyway, here's the book, so just start it whenever you feel like it. What's it about? Well, it's like a comedy, and there's romance too, obviously. Sayori looks at the title. It's called Love is Another Word for Luck. It's about a girl who keeps accidentally running into the same guys, and then you find out, like... Well, you should just read it. But you have to tell me what you think. I can already guess who you're gonna ship yourself with. It would be so funny if I'm right. Ship. I don't get it. Never mind. Let's not worry about that yet. Just make sure you tell me what you think. Oh, okay. I'll start then. Hey, maybe tomorrow we can do poetry too? Oh, yeah. I guess. But don't you want to finish this first? Yeah, but we could do both. I mean, unless you don't like poetry, then I won't make you or anything. No, it's just... Well, never mind. We can worry about it tomorrow. After the club meeting ends and Natsuki and Yuri leave, Monika strikes up a conversation with Sayuri. I see you got Natsuki to share some of her manga with you. I really want to become better friends with her. She's so enthusiastic and expressive. I could just listen to her talk. She's so... I'm not sure if she meant I can't say that to her, or if I just can't say it at all. Say what? Nothing. I'm a woman of respect. But Natsuki is a woman of cute. Oh, I said it. What's so bad about that? I don't know. But you know, there's one thing I'm kind of worried about. Sometimes I'm afraid that Natsuki actually doesn't like me very much. That's ridiculous. How come you feel that way? Well, I mean... Just little signs, like how she only says hi to me after I say hi to her first. And it feels like she only gets excited to talk to me when it's about manga and other stuff she likes. She just seems dismissive a lot. She was like that when I brought up poetry. Yeah, but that doesn't mean she doesn't like you. She's probably just shy, you know? Maybe. My stupid head is just making me worry for no reason. It likes to do that. It's okay. Try not to worry so much. Everything will be great. But you can always talk to me about any concerns that you have. I'm here to help. You're the best. Sayuri gives Monika a quick hug. Well, I'm gonna keep trying because I love her and I want to get closer to her. You got this. After the next club meeting starts, Sayuri is the last one in as usual. Trotting into the room, she sees Natsuki sitting alone by the closet, reading what must be manga. Without hesitation, Sayuri pulls up a chair and plops herself down right next to Natsuki. Hello there. Hi. What you reading? Can I read it with you? Natsuki pulls the book away from Sayuri. You can't just start in the middle. There are spoilers. Besides, what about the one I gave you yesterday? Sorry. I was just curious. Well, anyway, I've been waiting forever for this volume to come out, and it just came out yesterday, so... Well, that's exciting. Well, I'll let you read it then. Can I sit next to you, though? Sure. Sayuri plops herself down next to Natsuki, then pulls out a blank sheet of paper. Natsuki reads in silence, save for the periodic flutter of a page being released from beneath her thumb. From Sayuri's side, only the light tapping noises of her pen meeting the paper can be heard. Time passes. Sayuri's paper is filled with scribbles, and the margins are lined with stick figures. Natsuki lets out a deep sigh and closes her book. Did you finish? No, but it's a good stopping point. My head is swimming. I need a break. Natsuki stretches her arms. Aren't you bored? No, I was writing. Oh, I saw the stick figures and thought you were just bored. I just draw those. When I'm thinking or waiting for inspiration, I made friends with them all. This one is sad because she thinks the night sky is pretty, but she can't look up at the stars in public without everyone thinking she's a weirdo. And this one has problems with his back, but the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with him. What the heck? You're the weirdo. Want to read the poem I'm working on? Sure, I guess. Sayuri slides the paper over to Natsuki. As Natsuki reads through the poem, she furrows her eyebrows. She slides the paper back to Sayuri. Don't you ever feel weird just sharing all your thoughts and feelings like that? I mean, your poems are, like, really emotional. Is that bad? Well, no. It was just an observation. I think people can get closer to each other if they find ways of expressing their feelings. Well, Natsuki begins to protest, but she can't find a good way of putting her thoughts into words. Doesn't that depend more on the kinds of friends you have? Hey! How are you today? What is that? Emo. I like that emo. Doesn't it depend more on the kinds of friends you have? I don't know. To each their own, but I've never met anyone I'd feel comfortable sharing my poems with. Not that it's you, it's just how I am, so. You write poems? You never told me that. I just thought you wrote other stuff. Yeah, that too, but you should. I mean, would you ever want to share? Like I said, I don't do that. But, can we talk about something else? That's a neat emote too. Is that a llama? Or a camel? That's a camel, right? Can't see the whole name of it. I'm doing good. I don't know why, I'm feeling a little shy today, so I'm not in the normal streaming emotion, I think, but I'm working on it. I've been so busy though. I've been trying to get like all my stores up and going again, and it is so much work. Like, people don't realize how much work a store is. You have to do inventory, and you have to take pictures. Taking pictures is the worst. You have to make them look nice. And then you have to do like whole descriptions. And it's hours of work. Sometimes days. And I think this is going to be days. So I've been procrastinating. Because I have a lot of new stuff. Anyways, how are you? How has the Twitch sphere been treating you and all that? Why my kids broke one of the Joy-Cons to my Switch. Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't know if you heard me earlier, Tay, but I asked how many years is your schooling for the sports medicine? I'm sorry. It's not your fault. It just makes me uncomfortable. I can't help it. Still, I'm sorry. It's fine. Well, let's move on to something that makes us both happy. I should continue the book you gave me since I didn't get very far yet. Sure. Over the next few days, Sayori begins each club meeting by approaching Natsuki with unwavering enthusiasm. It's Natsuki! Natsuki! Hi, Natsuki. At the end of one club meeting, Monica, who has become rather invested in Sayori's friendship mission, starts an innocuous conversation with Natsuki while she packs up. It's cool that you've been finding time to spend with Sayori. She was pretty excited for the chance to read manga with you. Yeah. I'm sure you've been enjoying the chance to share it too, right? Yeah, mostly. Natsuki glances over her shoulder but doesn't reply further. What's on your mind? Nothing. I don't talk about people behind their backs. Oh. Natsuki falls silent, but she just fidgets instead of getting back to what she was doing, as though she wants to say more. Oh, hi, Wiley. It's okay to share your feelings. That's different from talking about someone behind their back. I guess. I just hate when people talk about me behind my back, so I'm better than to do it to others. Monica shares a bright smile. You're really considerate. Thanks, I guess, but it doesn't feel like it. You can trust me. Natsuki stands in silence for a moment, still fidgeting. I just feel smothered sometimes. I'm not used to someone being, like, all over me right after we meet. I mean, it's fun to hang out with her, but I just have no control over the pace. I can't just meet someone and instantly become best friends with them. And, like, share everything about myself. That's not how it works. I just want to chill out sometimes. Oh, I didn't realize that was happening. It's fine. Why would you have? I know. I just feel bad about it. I know Sayori, so I should have realized. Monica navigates through her tinge of guilt. Whoop. Hold on. I accidentally touched my Elgato. Monica navigates through her tinge of guilt, which has surfaced mainly due to her being the one who previously encouraged Sayori's behavior. Despite not knowing the situation, Monica can't help but feel a little responsible. Do you want me to talk to her about it? No. I wouldn't like that. Well, I could. I don't know. I could, divert her into another club activity for you, or something. No way. That would be so underhanded and mean. Sorry, I didn't think that one through. Besides, just because I complained about it doesn't mean I'm asking for someone to solve my problems for me. True. I'm sorry. I guess I just instinctively want to try to solve problems, even if I haven't been invited to. It's fine. I would talk to Sayori about it, but it would make things really weird between us. I feel like it would make her just constantly be afraid that she's bothering me. I don't know how to just keep things natural. Well, I think if you do a good job expressing all your feelings, she would totally understand. Sayori really wants to be the best she can be for other people. I think she would actually be happy that you want to improve your friendship with her. Maybe. I just feel so dumb talking to someone about how to be friends with them. It's just weird and not cool. Monica shrugs. It's a literature club. Then she mumbles through a stifled laugh. It's not the cool club. Hey. Sorry, that just tickled me for some reason. Look, I know that you're kind of in a tough spot, and that it's hard for you to really express yourself. But you've really demonstrated to me that you're great at self-reflection and critical thinking, even if it doesn't feel like it to you. I think that's the most important part of being able to navigate through these things. So I believe that you'll find the right thing to do. Well, Natsuki instinctively starts to reject the compliment, but she can't find any excuse to do so. Thanks. Natsuki gathers her things and she finishes her thought in a mumble. Oops. Sorry. Knocked my pop filter off. And I'm still glad I joined the club, even if it's weird sometimes. Monica smiles, but Natsuki turns her back and walks away before waiting for a reply. It was an unusual way for Natsuki to express her appreciation, but Monica knew what she meant. It made Monica feel like everything really was going to be okay. Sweet. We got a new song. Alright. Balance Part 2. It's lunchtime. Sayori, who usually buys her lunch, is making her way to the cafeteria like any other day. The clamor and bustle of the students is drowned by Sayori's impeccable skill of zoning out. However, her imagination is momentarily interrupted by a glimpse of a familiar pink-haired girl. Hey, that's Natsuki. I never run into the other club members around the school. Natsuki? Sayori stands on her tiptoes and waves. Natsuki, who's busy walking and chatting with her friends, doesn't notice Sayori at first. Then she glances over in Sayori's direction. Sayori waves enthusiastically. Following her friends, Natsuki quickly ducks around the corner. Hey, she definitely saw me. Monika's the first to arrive to the club meeting, then Natsuki. Sayori, having glanced through the window to see Natsuki already inside, is unable to work up enough courage to enter. Natsuki's been so distant with me. I was stupid to think she wanted to be friends. She only got excited because she got to share her manga. But aside from that, she doesn't even like me. I should just go home today. Sorry, but do you plan on going inside? No. Why? I'm sulking. Oh. Well, sorry for bothering you, excuse me. No, don't leave me! Oh, I'll stay here then. I don't want to go in. I'm afraid of bothering Natsuki. I saw her at lunch today. So, I waved and called out to her, but instead of saying hi, she just ran away from me. Really? Not bad. Hey! Sorry. I'm sorry. That was a joke. It just sounded like something stupid that I would do from anxiety. From anxiety? Well, I just don't like attention being drawn to myself. Oh. Well, that makes sense based on the person you are. But Natsuki isn't shy like that at all. I thought we were friends. But it feels like every day she's just trying to distance herself more instead of getting closer. Makes me feel like she was only spending time with me during the club because I was reading manga, but she doesn't actually want to be friends with me. Well, I feel like I'm missing a lot of context here. Was she in the middle of anything when you approached her? No, she was just walking with her friends. With her friends? Yuri pauses for a moment. How do I put this? So you're very fond of your friends, right? You always want to be spending time with them? Of course. I don't think there's anything more important to me. I mean, the best parts of my day are always with my friends. Besides that, I really hate being alone, so... You hate being alone? Sayuri nods. We're very different people. I cherish my time alone. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I think, well, if I was trying to have alone time, and it was being threatened with an interruption, then it just would not make me very happy. Yeah, but that doesn't have to do with Natsuki. She was already with her friends, not trying to be alone or anything. No, I think it's similar. It's, well, we're all friends in the club, but we have our own lives outside of the club as well. If you think about it, making new friends isn't some casual occurrence that happens on a daily basis. A friendship is an invitation to intertwine your lives together, but the capacity at which each person is ready to do that might be different. There are friends who just like to have fun together, and others who talk every day and share every detail of their lives with each other. I think when establishing a friendship, it's important to consider the comfort level of the other person. I mean, we don't really know much about Natsuki's life outside of the club. It could be that she simply needs to make friends at her own pace, rather than jump headfirst into a new commitment. But that means I really was bothering her. I just really wanted to be good friends with her, so I treated her like one. Was I actually hurting her? I don't know, I'm sorry. My insights was really only based on what I understand about my own needs, and Natsuki and I are completely different, so why was I so selfish? Even if all that is true, then it just means I hurt her. I think I messed up. Yuri, with you, I think I was really careful to understand your needs when I was becoming friends with you. But I wasn't careful at all with Natsuki because she already seemed really social. I just took control of everything instead of looking for the right balance. Now I hurt her and she doesn't want to talk to me. How could I let myself do this? Sayuri, I think that... Well, there was one time you told me something about the way I saw things in my head being different from reality. It's easy to automatically jump to the worst case scenario, but I think it's more likely that Natsuki doesn't harbor any ill feelings towards you. So I think if we were to realistically consider the situation and how it would cause someone to feel, I'm bad at this. I'm sorry. You're a lot better than me at things like comforting and reassuring people. Suddenly, Sayuri gives Yuri a gentle hug. You're the best, Yuri. I'm sorry for burdening you with this. You're trying so hard for me. You're such a sweetheart. It's not a burden. I enjoy listening to others. And my friends deserve happiness. Sayuri beams. Well, I think I'm gonna give Natsuki some space. She should do what she wants, and if she does still want to be friends, then I'll learn her needs and I'll match her boundaries. Yeah, I'm sure that's what's best. I wish I didn't feel so awful and guilty. Makes me feel desperate, like I need to make it up to her by trying to make her happy. But that's not what she needs. I just have to tell myself that. It hurts, but I guess it means I still need to grow. I really want to grow as a person. If it's to be better for friends, I want that. That's very mature of you, Sayuri. I'm mature. Sayuri hops up and down on her toes. So, does that mean you'll be going home after all? Sayuri shakes her head. I need to be here to show her that I respect her space. I'll just spend the club by myself today. Yuri nods in understanding. You can go in first. Okay. Wow, my internet took a dip. You're blocking the door. Oh. Sayori steps aside. By the way, before Yuri enters the club room, Sayori interjects. You said that you and Natsuki are completely different, but I don't really think that's true. I think you're actually really similar in a lot of ways. Yuri smiles and shakes her head. Sayori, that's absurd. You're very silly sometimes. Yuri turns and enters the club room. After a moment, Sayori follows. Hold on. That was a lot of reading. Just needed a little drink and breather. Okay, I'm ready. The club room is quiet. Sayori walks in, Natsuki glances in her direction. Excellently closed. Sayori smiles and gives Natsuki a quick wave before sitting down across the room. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Sayori decides it's best to continue the manga she was reading, so she pulls it out. However, it looks like Natsuki isn't reading today. She has a sheet of paper in front of her and is tapping a pen against her desk, staring at it. Oh, are we writing today? Monika speaks in a quiet voice, unwilling to disturb the peace of the club room. She kneels down at Natsuki's desk. Hey! Natsuki pulls the sheet closer to her and covers it with her arms. Sorry, I didn't mean to peek. Whatever. I just wanted to see how everything was going. It's fine. Natsuki replies dismissively. She glances over at Sayori, who is focused on her manga. Monika follows Natsuki's gaze. I think she's mad at me. How come? I'm busy right now. Ask me later. Monika falls silent. Natsuki looks back down at her paper. She enters her hand away from the top margin, allowing Monika to see. It says, to Sayori. Understanding, Monika smiles. She places a hand on Natsuki's shoulder and whispers softly, proud of you. Natsuki looks away, but makes no motion to remove Monika's hand. Monika gives Natsuki's shoulder a quick squeeze before standing back up and pulling away. The end of the club meeting passes. Yuri has already departed. So has Monika, after checking on Sayori and Natsuki to ensure they wouldn't stay too late. Sayori was determined to finish her manga volume before heading out, since the end was approaching. However, with Natsuki also staying late for an unknown reason, a silent tension hangs in the air. After finishing the volume, Sayori brings it to the closet to put it away. She slides it back onto the shelf while Natsuki watches. Then, Natsuki gets up and pulls it back out in order to return it to its proper location. Sorry, I didn't know where it's supposed to go. It's fine. The two fall silent again, avoiding eye contact. They both look like they're about to say something, but neither can break the silence. A moment passes. Well, I'll be on my way. See you tomorrow. Sayori turns away to hide her pained expression, then walks away from the closet. If there was any proof Natsuki no longer wanted to be friends, this was it. Defeated, Sayori carries herself out of the club room. Once in the hallway, Sayuri takes a deep breath and hits her palms against her cheeks to clear her head a little. Uh, um. Suddenly, Natsuki's stammering voice calls from behind. Natsuki? Startled, Sayuri turns back around to face Natsuki. Natsuki fidgets and anxiously continues with a shaking voice. I have a lot of things to say. Me too. But you go first. Natsuki bites her lip and can't stay still. Well, first of all, she cuts herself short, struggling to continue. Trying to force the words out, she stamps her foot and hops up and down a little. I'm sorry for the thing I did at lunch, and I'm sorry for just being kind of mean lately. It's really hard for me to I'm not good with things that make me uncomfortable. Especially when it comes to like feelings and stuff. So, face burning, Natsuki clams up again. Instead of continuing, she simply holds up a sheet of paper for Sayuri to take. The best place in the world. I love my bedroom. It's full of bright colors and soft things. The sunlight shines in and makes everything sparkle. It's the best place in the world. It has all my treasures, all my books, my collections, my memories. All of my dreams were born in this room. It's the best place in the world. It has all my secrets, all my failures, my fears, my feelings. Sometimes it feels so fragile that the door will break at the slightest touch, but it's still the best place in the world. When someone knocks, I get scared. I brace my arms against the loose hinges. Please don't break. Don't come in. I'm not ready. It's my best place in the world. The knocking won't stop. I block the door with furniture. An eye peeks through the keyhole and I panic. I'm trapped in the best place in the world. I'm not ready to share my favorite place. I need to clean my secrets and make my bed to hide my nightmares. I need to touch them to put them away, to see them again. I have so much to do, and I'm scared. I'm not ready. But it's still my favorite place. I still want to share it, however long it takes. If you wait patiently, I'll eventually open the door. I'll show you the best place in the world. It's a poem, but I thought, well, I sucked it up so that I could work things out with you. So just be happy about it. Please? Sayuri smiles deeply from the bottom of her heart. I'm happier than I could express. I feel so awful, but I'm so happy that you would do this for me. I actually realized before the club meeting today that I made a mistake. I got so caught up in the chance to get closer to you that I forgot to think about what you wanted. And that we probably have different ways to make friends. About, the friendship stuff. I mean, it's okay. I understand, so you don't have to force yourself to talk about it. Your poem did a good job, so don't force yourself if you're not ready yet, okay? Natsuki nods. You don't have to feel like you did anything wrong. It was my fault, and I'm sorry. I wasn't mad at you today or anything like that. I actually felt really guilty and wanted to give you space. I was thinking it's silly that I just approach you all the time, and then I should just let you approach me when you want to. Just whatever makes you comfortable. I'll respect that from now on. Friendships should always start with those things, with the right balance. Natsuki nods again. One thing about that. Well, I don't want to have to approach you all the time either. I just want it to be balanced, like you said. Sayuri nods. I understand. We'll make sure of that together then. Well, anyway, now that the two of them have found common ground, Natsuki finds it easier to speak more freely again. I'm not gonna be sharing my poems all the time now or anything like that, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to do once in a while, only the best ones. So you better like them, because otherwise I might change my mind. I like anything you do, Natsuki. I was just saying, more importantly, I have to tell you about my new boyfriend. Huh? Oh, from the manga. Wait, I need to guess who it is. You definitely won't be able to guess. The two walk down the hallway together. Oh my god, we have so much to talk about. Darn. I should have told you to save the last 2 chapters so I could see your reaction to the big reveal. Aw, you wanted to enjoy it with me. That's so cute. Oh, shush. much. So much friendship. Nice. This one's cute. I guess this one's Yuri's. I named my pin the expression express. My feelings abroad. My feelings aboard with a ticket to you. No room for stammers, no lies. No extra stops, no compromise. Station screaming by, attendant saying hi. One ticket to you, please, and thank you. Take a headphone and doze. No bumps in the rails, no thumps in my heart, and loops in my letters, and clouds in the sky, and dreams in your eyes. Hey, wake up. The train has arrived. Expression express. Destination you. Choo choo. Cute. Okay, next one. Reflection. Am I bothering you? No. Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. That makes sense. I guess if you're here in the first place, then you're more ready to socialize, even if it takes a little bit of prodding. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work, so it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and then. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or everyone is being too silly for me to keep up with. Yuri glances across the room at Sayuri and Natsuki. Sayuri has her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch pieces of a cookie that Natsuki is lobbing into the air, but the pieces keep bouncing off her face and hitting the floor. Maybe I should say something. No need, they just ran out of a cookie. What a waste. They've really become good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Sayuri seems particularly good at making that happen. But the two of them are both on the energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. Yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had many chances to talk, one-on-one, have we? Though that may be partially my fault, since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members. Not at all. I've probably formed a habit of drawing minimum attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me, at least to display some openness to engage. Well, what about during times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? I just read. Oh. But I like that. It feels nice to be carried off again after a morning of classes. You always read fantasy. Oh, no, not always. I suppose it's all I've read recently, but only because I'm in the middle of the series. There are still 2 more books after this one. I guess those long books suit you well since you spend so much time reading. Well, fantasy may be my favorite, but after that, I'm more or less indiscriminate to genres. I'll read anything with depth and maturity. Oh yeah? Even like romance? Well, there are a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh, come on, Yuri, you know what I mean. Monica lowers her voice. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anyone if you do too. Maybe more when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely and people were mean to me a lot. So it kind of felt like... Please don't make me think about the past. Sorry, I just got super curious. You know, we should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun. Absolutely not. Really? Even if it was just between us? Try asking someone who has no shame, like Natsuki. Ouch. Sorry, I swear I didn't mean that. Well, I guess it was my fault for pressing you. I'm like that for things in my past too, you know? Things I feel too embarrassed to re-experience. Nothing wrong with growing out of things. It happens to everyone. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite a bit of how intense I used to be about my own interests. Makes me think that she'll likely grow out of it too. Hey, were you talking about me? No, we were just talking about how our interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki? Like a couple years ago, I guess? I was already sort of into it before that, but I wasn't really going hard until then. Oh yeah? What was it that inspired you to get more into it? I don't know. Let me think. It was after I discovered a series that I really liked. Yeah, I was just really fed up with a lot of things, and I got super into this one series that I really related to. I guess I had an edgy phase where I just hated everyone around me and wanted to be by myself. Hey, kind of like Yuri. Monica. Sorry. That's completely wrong, so... Still cool that you both really found your thing. You're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they helped you a lot through hard times. You know it. Wow, what the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading? It's technically slightly longer, but not by very much. How high do you think it would go if you stacked up the whole series? Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high above her head, sizing up an imaginary stack. I should get one of those mangas that's 50 volumes long so that I can say I've read more than you. Haha. Not that I have the money for that. Please, that would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. I know, I was just joking. I could never actually read books like yours. It's too boring for me. Yuri shoots a glare at Natsuki. It's not boring. Chill, I said for me, not for you. I can have my own opinion. I just think it's too convoluted. Sayori, are those from the floor? Gross. Also, wash your hands before touching any of my books. My hands aren't dirty. Just do it. The oils are there, even if you can't see them. Fine. Sayori trots out the door and Natsuki follows. Yuri, you look a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? Well, she did correct herself. Hardly. She was so condescending. Don't mind if she thinks it's not for her. I already understand that it's not for everyone, but she knows how much these mean to me. So how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me the things you hate about it? Sorry, Yuri. Maybe you're right. This won't be the last time people have strong feelings about what they like and don't like. Especially in a literature club. So I should figure out how to mediate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books, and also your ability to get through them so quickly. Thank you. Okay, well, this is something that I'll have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you. Common ground isn't necessary. I just wish to be respected. Then, either way, I'll do my best. Skeptical when it comes to Natsuki. I trust you, Monica, but I'm skeptical. Okay, everyone. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we get to share things that we're not really passionate about. But that also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into positive energy for each other. Aren't you being a little dramatic about this? This is important to me. Oh, sorry, I just feel like I'm being accused or something. No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. Sorry if I came off that way. But our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for the Literature Club, don't you think? Sure, we're going to have differences in opinion a lot, so I need to make sure we're prepared to keep a positive atmosphere in the club. If you say so. Sure. The cool thing about language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same ideal or emotion. We have a lot of control over how we want the other person to feel when receiving our thoughts. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversations, basically anything. For example, Sayori, what's your favorite food? Have them organized by category. Should I start with snacks, or do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast? Oh, jeez. Okay, how about your favorite fruit? That's easy, cherries. Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty. What? Cherries are delicious. Whoa, that's a pretty strong reaction. Well, I just don't understand how somebody could think cherries are nasty. How does it make you feel? I don't know. Sad? Defensive, maybe? Yeah, I got defensive. See, the reasons you had such a strong reaction wasn't just because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt like your opinion was under attack. That's weird, right? Something like taste is completely subjective. But when I say something like, I think cherries taste nasty, I'm using objective language. Challenging Sayori's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is that cherries are nasty. Wait, hold on. How is that objective when you just said it was only your own opinion? It has to do with the way our brains interpret words. You're talking about the reality of the cherries, not your feelings about them. Like Sayori. Let's rewind for a second and pretend I didn't tell you that I think cherries are nasty. Good. So, what if instead of that I said like, I've tried cherries and they're not for me. It's not the kind of flavor I enjoy. Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word. Okay, so cherries was kind of a weird example, but I think it gets the point across. This time around, instead of talking about the cherries, I just talked about my feelings, and Sayori didn't get defensive. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we received an invitation to talk about our differences. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm not gonna quiz you or something. I know that. I was just, sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you'd like. But does anyone have any thoughts so far? Yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't have to put all my language through a filter just to protect someone's feelings. Well, you don't have to. The choice is yours on how you want to come across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to help turn your differences into a positive experience, rather than an argument. Right, Sayori? Whatever you say, cherry hater. Come on. Sayori, yeah, I actually like cherries. I was just saying that to help demonstrate. What the heck? I've been duped. Sorry, Sayori. I'll make it up to you later. How about a cherry sundae? You're welcome to dupe me anytime, my beloved president. Buying your people's loyalty. How deplorable. Oh, like you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri. You were certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought in the other week. That was, I was reading and not keeping track of them. Well, that's enough. We're getting off topic. So, now that we have the gist of it, how about we try it with something more relevant to the club? Like manga, right? Let's try to have a productive discussion about our differences in opinion. Yuri, do you want to start? Well, I'd rather not, no. How come? Well, because I don't see anything productive can come from that. It's just going to start a fight. No, it'll be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's just have a calm and rational discussion. Yeah, give me a little more credit. I'm not a child. You don't have to coddle my feelings. I always think it's more respectable to just speak your mind. Respectable. Yuri's expression changes at that word. Monica recalls being respected was the crux of the matter for Yuri. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like, it's fine. I have nothing against anyone personally. You're entitled to enjoy whatever it is you like. I just prefer more depth and nuance in my reading material. I look for stories that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level. Oh, well, that's just a misunderstanding then. I thought you were going to say that manga's for children or something. Like, I don't hear enough of that. But there's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my own fair share when I was younger. What? Are you serious? How come you never told me? Because I'm past that point in my life, and I really prefer not to revisit it. I prefer more mature things now. Excuse me? Okay, hold on. Can I jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because if you imply that manga is immature, then aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it? Well, maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes than you. Natsuki. Nobody's immature. I've read Natsuki's manga and Yuri's fantasy, and I love them both, in their own way. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. Okay, it bores me. That's subjective. But, the thing about... This is ridiculous. Do you see why I didn't want to participate in this? I knew it was just going to make people upset. I'm not upset. Like I said, I don't care what other people think. but I always got the impression that you secretly looked down upon me, so I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed. It's not true at all. You're making assumptions. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody ever has the least bit of respect for the things I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for just being myself, trying to mind my own business. What? Have you looked in a mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all my interests immature. You can't... Please stop. Please. You don't mean the things you're saying right now. Let's just be friends. I didn't mean for this to happen. Well, it did. So please don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Yuri's piercing words send the club room into a choked silence as she gathers her things. She leaves. Holy crap. Never heard her sound like that before. She must be so pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so I was just saying. How did this happen? It's my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I shouldn't have tried to moderate a conflict that I know how bad I am at dealing with conflicts. It was a really stupid thing for me to do. It's nobody's fault, and it wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we're sensitive about the things we really love. Honestly, she kind of brought it upon herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're not into manga, but if you actually look down on other people for it, that's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about sugarcoating things, it's about just recognizing and understanding our differences. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down on me. It has nothing to do with her word choice or anything like that. So I see what you were trying to do, but I really think the problem here is her. Not just like the way we talk to each other, right? I mean, Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter than you're giving her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this. I actually think everyone should. It'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Wow, I'm just like saying that instinctively. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems. This wasn't your fault, Monica. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. If you ask me, it's good that the truth finally came out, because I can just move on now. But, it's fine. I promise. Let's just get our mind off this, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga, without having to worry about feeding Yuri's superiority complex. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga or whatever you want, but don't be mean to my friends, okay? Sorry. I'm just bitter. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but I at least know that we're all good people and don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience. Monica says that, but her uneasiness is given away by how much she has to force the reassuring tone in her voice. This was bound to happen eventually. Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other, the least out of anyone, and this is the reason. As Sayori and Natsuki proceed to distract themselves with manga, Monica sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Will the club really have to just come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? Monica desperately doesn't want to admit that, and she knows Sayori doesn't either. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. Oh, wow. Let's check out the new song first. From Row Teether. Date Monday, December 2nd, 2019, 12:06 a.m. Binary data at VM2. I made some new headway with VM2. Don't get too excited. It's still impossible to establish any kind of stable connection. But it occurred to me that I could at least run a memory dump through some pattern analysis routines to see if we can decipher any digital data from their VM. I don't want to hog all the server time on a hunch, but I have some preliminary results that indicate the presence of binary computer systems. Based on this, I'm going to schedule 3 days of server time next week to isolate any chunks of memory that appeared to be binary data. If successful, we'll definitely be able to find some encoded text and get our first tiny glimpse of VM2. Don't mind me though. Just keep going nuts on VM1, and hopefully I'll have more to share soon. A new day arrives. Sayuri arrives at the club room earlier than usual. That is, not late. She enters it, appears to be empty still. So she sits down at a desk and pulls out a sheet of paper, primed to jot down her thoughts. Sayuri has made a habit of scribbling her thoughts and feelings onto paper whenever possible, as it tends to serve as her best inspiration for poetry. My heart feels vacant because a ship sailed away. Yo. Ah! Natsuki. Natsuki pokes her head out from behind the closet door. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. But it would have been a lot more awkward if I didn't say anything. Doubt you want me listening on your poetry thing. Yeah. Thanks for realizing that. Should I let you finish that up then? Oh no, it wasn't. I mean, I just do it whenever it's convenient. You're not interrupting. Where's Monica, by the way? Oh, she's out in the hallway. Huh? Why? Well, just in case she runs into Yuri. Sometimes Yuri is too nervous to come into the club room by herself, so... Oh, jeez. Does Yuri really let things bother her for that long? She can't control her feelings. For some people, it's really hard to cope when you get a bad thought in your head. Maybe you can distract yourself for a little while. But as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back. I just want us to have a normal club meeting. It's a lot easier to pretend like it never happened if we all just ignore it and move on. I don't want to be bothered by this. It's so stupid. Her opinion of me doesn't matter anyway. Besides, it makes me feel really guilty and I hate that too. It's okay. I have feelings. It doesn't make you weak. Let's figure this out together. Fine. Only because you're good at this stuff. Let's try to come up with a happy scene. Maybe that will help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from. Well, I was happy the way things were before we had to have that conversation yesterday. What part of the conversation made you upset? Was it Yuri being mean about the manga? Maybe. Doubt it though. My friends and other people make fun of manga all the time, but I just brush it off and ignore them. Something about it really got to me this time. And I hate that I'm letting that happen. Is it because it came from Yuri? No, why would that matter? I mean, well, maybe. I hate that she thinks she's so much better than me. It's because she likes to pretend to be all sophisticated. Yeah, that's what it is. At least other people decide that they don't like me, or manga, or whatever. But Yuri acts like she's too good to even give it a chance. Sorry. Everyone deserves a chance. Yeah, exactly. Would you give Yuri books a chance? After this? Obviously not. What about before this? Well, I would until I got bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, it's not hard to realize that a story can be deep and meaningful without being needlessly complicated. See? But you know, I like Yuri's books. Yeah, but you like manga more, right? Sayuri shakes her head. I like them both. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. I mean, the manga, it's really honest and fun and easy to just let go with. The fantasy has a lot to interpret and uncover, and it's really rewarding to have some good quiet time together with it. But the most important thing is that both the manga and the fantasy are true to themselves. So I love them both. And I think there's room for both of them to be in the same club together. I just feel like maybe they have more in common than you would think. 100%. All literature is very similar, no matter the type, or storytelling. Because books can be great, movies can be better, or movies could be worse than the book, or manga can be just as good as books, animes can be better than the manga. Like, there's so much chances of good storytelling. How do you get along with everyone so well? I always get into fights with people. Like, first it was with Monica, and I was new to the club. Then it was you, and now it's Yuri. And I'm always like, oh, that person is being such a jerk, and if they just realized that, then we could at least get along. But nobody else has this problem. I just keep running away from the reality that everybody's just a jerk to me because nobody likes me. And I don't know why. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate it. Natsuki. Sayuri puts a comforting hand on Natsuki's shoulder. You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved as much as everyone else. Everyone has different ways they like to communicate, you know. Sometimes that makes it harder for us to understand each other. I think that sometimes we get lucky. We make friends who are really good at the same kinds of communication, and it feels like you magically connect with them. But other times, even if both people are really nice, it's easy for them to misunderstand each other or to get the communication wrong. It's something that Yuri struggles a lot with too. It can be really hard. It takes a lot of, reflection and self-awareness and vulnerability. I'm bad at that one. Vulnerability. I always have to be the strongest. What do you mean? Tell me about that part of you. Well, sounds stupid, but I'm really used to people being mean to me. Like my friends, and I guess my dad. Like when I don't get good grades, or even stupid things like if my room isn't clean. So what am I gonna do? Cry about it? If I let myself get upset, then it's just letting them win. I'm better than that. Better than all of them. So, things always have to be everyone else's fault. Feels like if something goes wrong, and there's even a tiny hint that it might be my fault, then I just get really angry. And I find ways to blame everything else instead. Do you see yourself as better than Yuri? If I said that, then I would just sound really full of myself. No. Your thoughts and our feelings are two different things. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand them. And if we want to learn more about themselves, it's a part of vulnerability, you know? Accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I hate that. My feelings make me a bad person. Because my feelings just want to tell me that I'm so much better than her. That she's a judgmental know-it-all who's stuck in her edgy phase and that I'm just way above that garbage. I'm terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. You are not your feelings. But you are not your feelings. Say that to yourself out loud. Fine. I am not my feelings. The way that I like to picture it is that those feelings are like your roommate. You live in the same house and you gotta see each other every day. And even if you can ignore each other most of the time, you're gonna run into each other every now and then. It's gonna make you feel like poop. So the other option is to get to know each other. You can communicate and learn from each other, and maybe even help each other change for the better. Does that help you understand? How do you know so much about this stuff? I just have a roommate that can be really hard to get along with, called depression. Depression? But you're like the happiest person I know. I am not my feelings. I want to be a good person like you. You little sweetheart. We're all good people. You and Yuri and Monica. And I think Yuri will eventually learn that about you. Natsuki remains silent, feeling a little overwhelmed. Despite Sayori's kind reassurance, a complicated mixture of pain and sadness seems to fill her, as though flowing from a wound inside her. Was it a result of her vulnerability? No, it wasn't, as though she was inflicted a wound after becoming vulnerable. It was as though she began to rediscover an old wound, one that cannot simply be bandaged and left alone any longer. Yuri, what are you doing all the way over here? I was looking for you. Please don't yell at me. Oh, I'm not going to yell at you. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. It was unfair for me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time, I won't just try to jump in and solve everyone's problems. I guess it's a bad habit of mine. You're not mad at me? I thought you were the one mad at me. I was so awful yesterday. Yuri curls up, recalling the details of the argument. Can't even have a normal conversation without saying something wrong and making everyone upset. Hold on, that's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay? Yuri pauses for a second, then manages a nod. Monica takes a seat next to her on the staircase. I'm having a lot of negative thought patterns and I can't get away from them. What kind of negative thought patterns? Like everyone hates me. Especially Natsuki. Oh, that's terrible. I don't think Natsuki hates you. How do you know? Well, because Monica Thinks back to the time that she herself found herself in an altercation with Natsuki. Hi, Wiley. Thank you. Oh, it is. I knew it was gonna be. These, side stories are all reading. There's not really much to do past that point. Like, you don't get to choose, any choices or anything. But it unlocks things, so I'm excited for that. And it makes you get the background of these characters, which is kind of nice. Monika thinks back to the time that she... Yeah, I read that. And how a display of maturity from Monika was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own feelings as well. I think Natsuki is just naturally defensive. I think she acts mean when she feels the need to protect herself. But you know, she's really not a bad person. In fact, I think she can be really thoughtful and considerate. She just, well, I guess the way it works is that she wants to receive some degree of kindness first before she feels comfortable returning it. Oh. But that means the burden is on me. And I don't know how to say things that make people like me. Every time I open my mouth, Yuri shakes her head at herself and tugs on her hair. Yeah, you say really mean stuff. And then say you don't mean it. It's like, kinda crazy. It's okay, Yuri. You don't need to beat yourself up. I think anyone would like you if you had the chance to get to know you. Well, unfortunately, the opposite is true. So I'm not talkative anymore in the first place, because everyone used to think I was weird and talk about me behind my back. That's just what happens when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki even said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind, so I did, and she hated me anyway. That was enough to confirm my fears, but Sayuri and I like you. We've gotten to know you a lot by now, right? My legs got cold. Yuri doesn't seem to have a response. Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about her. That's not what I meant. I was just wondering if you had an opinion of her. I do. What is it? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me. I feel really ashamed of it. I like to think of myself as a fairly sophisticated person. So for someone to just treat me like I'm inferior, despite my tastes, that's just the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her. It makes me think bad things about her. But everyone else seems to like her, so the only explanation is that it's me who's doing something wrong here. My feelings about her are wrong. And I'm wrong to get upset over something so childish and inconsequential. Oh, Yuri. Feelings are never wrong. Well, you're not right. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know? They're just a state of being that we don't always have control over. That doesn't mean they have to control us. I feel like that's something I learned around when I first started the club. We can hate ourselves for feeling a certain way about things, or we can, just acknowledge that they exist and try to understand them better. I can never be mad at you for just feeling a certain way. It's about how you handle them. I think working through feelings is a great opportunity for teamwork. Yuri wears a dejected expression. Make it sound so easy. You're so mature. So good with people. I feel like such a child in comparison. Because you are a child. Monika is too. Technically, in age. Oh, Yuri, I'm far from perfect. But these are learned skills. They didn't come naturally to me either. It's really hard to, reflect on yourself. Separate your feelings from your thoughts. I just want to be a good person. Well, I think it takes a good person to get this far. It's not good enough. I want to be able to communicate it to her. Communicate what? How I feel. How it makes me feel frustrated and upset when she's so negative and dismissive of the things that mean so much to me. And how it reminds me of me. Because I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that telling yourself you're better than everyone else is just a defense mechanism. We're just people. We're fragile and unstable. but I'm just tired of that getting in the way. I can't stand it when the peace is disturbed like this. Yeah, you can't focus on your reading when the peace is disturbed, right? Because Literature Club should be happy for everyone. Monika looks at Yuri in adoration. I feel like Sayuri must be rubbing off on me. I really want to hug you now. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. No, I mean, well, if you wanted to, then I wouldn't really mind, so. Monika pulls Yuri into a short embrace. You're so gentle, and I love when you communicate your feelings. I feel lucky to get to see that side of you. I'm sure Natsuki will too. I'm going to write her a letter. Oh, a letter. What a great idea. Just because I'm not good at talking, especially under pressure. I always let my feelings get the best of me. I forget to say all the important things. I say things I don't mean. Hold on. Well, I think a letter would be wonderful. Such a nice way to communicate. Yuri's face hardens with determination. People don't naturally gravitate towards me like they do for you and Sayuri. My personality just isn't suited for that. And I wouldn't want it to be. Something I've learned is that friendships don't always just magically appear out of thin air. For instance, I never would have seen myself making friends with someone like Sayuri. We're opposite in a lot of ways. But I'm friends with her because she put so much effort into understanding me so that we can get along. I think it was the same with you. You both gave me a lot of time and patience. I wonder if she feels the same way. Natsuki? Yuri nods. I always thought that if I wanted to make more friends, I had to be somebody that I'm not. If there's a type of person or a magical formula I have to follow in order to make someone like me. That's just like me to think that. Always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand other people. Yuri shakes her head. Friendship happens when you think about the other person. When you offer time and effort to understand them and respect them and trust that they also want to be a good person. That's what I learned through my observations in the literature club. Observations. Monika is caught by surprise. Yuri has always kept to herself so much that it's so unusual to hear her suddenly talking about the club like this. But Yuri gently smiles to herself. You always let me listen to your thoughts about people. Sayuri too. It makes me happy because I learn a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant that much to you. Monika never thought much of it, but in the past weeks, Yuri always seemed to be especially attentive when it came to the problems and concerns of others. Always wanting to listen and learn more about her friends in the club. It's true, Sayuri and Monika are naturally more comfortable with other people and can more easily work through situations of conflict. That doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses, and the capacity to improve. The first step towards improving oneself is reflection and self-awareness. Something that Yuri never gave herself credit for, but that Monika can recognize as an incredible trait. With that, her confidence in the club is restored. A very shy girl with a long, pretty hair is wandering the bustling lunchtime hallways, her fist pressed with her collarbone. When she finds the literature club's president's classroom, she stands at the door, glancing all around her before peering inside. Monika is sitting and chatting with a group of unknown friends. Yeah, as expected, this was a bad idea after all. Suddenly, Monika glances towards the door, making the girl panic and duck out of sight. Before she can regain composure and decide for sure to leave, the classroom door gently opens. Yuri, what a surprise to see you during lunch. Yuri squeaks a response. Please help me. What? Is everything okay? Yuri shakes her head. I don't know how to write letters. Thank goodness, I thought there was some kind of emergency. Monika briefly glances over her shoulder at her other friends. You want some help? We can go find an empty classroom or something. Is that okay? I feel bad taking you away from your friends. It's totally fine, I promise. We weren't really doing anything. 1 second. Monica trots back into her classroom. Says something like "I gotta go" to her friends, then grabs a pen off her desk before returning to Yuri. Okay, let's find somewhere quiet. Yuri nods and follows Monica as the two of them set off. How are you today? Huh? Me? Well, yeah. Oh gosh, sorry. I was just caught off guard. Doing well today. Just tired. I never seem to get enough sleep during the week. How come? I don't know. I think I'm just easily distracted. I get really sucked into things and start neglecting the time. Me too. I do that too. Hey, this classroom is empty. Let's go in here. After peering inside, Monica opens the classroom door and the two of them enter. Yuri's moment of relaxation ends. She watches as Yuri pulls 2 chairs up to the same desk and then obeys as Monica beckons her to take a seat. She stares down at the empty desk. You nervous? I don't want to do this. We don't have to. We can come up with something else. Yuri shakes her head. It's my chance to do something good. I need to take initiative. Gosh, you must be really determined. I know how hard it is to step out of your comfort zone. I'll be sure to encourage you. Yuri pushes through her anxiety and grabs a handful of line paper from her notebook. Then she picks up her pen. Hey, you're left-handed. That's neat. Yeah. I don't have to worry about bumping your arm. Monica playfully rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. Sorry, I'm just being silly, I guess. Anyway, how about we start by listing the different things you want to say to her? Yuri thinks. I feel embarrassed all of a sudden. It's okay. How about some of the things you said to me yesterday? But, never mind. I guess I'll try. Yuri thinks for a moment longer, her tension evident. Then she writes the word reflection. It's about my reflection on our behavior. The key question is why we act like this towards each other. If I have been able to separately be friends with Sayuri and Monica. That's me. Yes, it is. So, Yuri thinks. I've been able to befriend the two of you because you've taken the time to understand my needs and respect my interests. The same goes for Natsuki, too. Started off as pretty hostile to each other because I was so worried about getting what I wanted. But she just wanted to be respected more than anything else. Once I stopped making it all about me, she was able to do the same. I want to do that too. So what kinds of things do you want to do for her? I want to do the same things for her that I like to receive. I like it when people respond positively to the things I talk about, and not just brush me off. I like it when my feelings are taken seriously. And I like when you and Sayuri trust that I want to be a good person, even when I'm not doing a good job at it. Let's write those things down. Okay, Yuri writes some things down. I think the most important thing to remember here is that Natsuki is feeling vulnerable. So, we should make sure that the letter puts her first. It's hard when you're feeling hurt, but it never helps to just tell someone all the things that they're doing wrong. I think first you have to make sure that they know you're ready to respect them and listen to them, and admit the things that you feel you could do better. And finally, you ask what you would like in return. How does that sound for the structure? It could be 3 paragraphs, one for each of those points. I like that. My thoughts were so disorganized, I had no idea how to come up with any kind of structure. We're so amazing at these things. Oh, stop. Done so much more than I have, you know? Spent so much time reflecting and being open-minded. It's the hardest thing for anyone to do. All I'm doing is helping you put it on a piece of paper. So I think you're the amazing one. Monica gives Yuri's hand a quick squeeze. But as she lets go, she's caught by surprise when Yuri curls her fingers to hook Monica's hand in place. For a while they sit like that in silence, save for the occasional scratching of Yuri's pen against the paper. Yesterday you told me something that I'm thinking about a lot. What was that? The thing about how feelings aren't right or wrong, they're just a state of being we need to come to terms with. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always just how they decide to be. It's also made up of their past experiences and their insecurities. I think that helps me see other people as actual people rather than as insignificant side characters who are out to get me somehow. Is that how you feel about Natsuki? Yuri nods. But in reality, everyone is always trying their best, and everyone wants to be happy. Monica peers over at Yuri's paper, but to her surprise, Yuri pulls it in closer, partially covering it with her arm. I have to be able to read it to help out, you know. It's okay. My thoughts are a lot more organized now, after being able to talk to you about it. Now that I'm actually putting it on paper, I realize I would really prefer others not to read it. Yuri laughs softly to herself, a rare expression. Kinda glad to hear that, actually. I somehow keep finding ways to butt into this whole thing. I've done enough damage, but it's also been so wonderful talking about this. I mean, I always thought you were really smart, but... Yuri smiles. I'll always be terrible at these things. People are just so incomprehensible to me. I'll never get the hang of being one. But listening to you so much has really helped me make sense of some things. So just don't call it damage, please. Monica gives Yuri a gentle smile. Can't believe I came to this club looking for fantasy geeks and all I got was real friends who value me. Is that a joke? Of course it is. Still can't tell with you. Sorry. No, I love it. Please never change. As you wish. Yuri glances at the clock. We're almost out of time. Will you be able to finish? Before the end of the day, probably. But I don't want to come to the club the same day that Natsuki reads it. I'm too shy. I can give it to her instead if you'd like. Yuri nods. As long as you promise not to read it. Of course, I promise. Thank you. Yuri exhales and the two stand up. I'll message you when it's ready. Monica nods. Good luck. I'm here if you need me. Yuri turns a nod and the two depart. Cute. Hold on. We might take a small break just so I can get a breath. Let my dog out. So, and it hits the hour mark, so it's perfect timing. I'm back. Let me get a drink of my newly refreshed water. Hold on. Um, it is freezing in my office, so I'm going to also turn down the air. This is ridiculously cold. I was helping Wiley up with something because he's sick. We're trying to get him better as well, especially before the weekend. Um, one little note: this stream is brought to you by me, for one, But as well as my buddies at FSK, they just launched a new Kickstarter for another Emerald Quest volume or chapter, and yeah, go check it out at FSK and go. Evra, when you watch this and you're editing and stuff, you don't have to keep this in. It's just for the stream. So let's jump back into it. The cold air made my nose like really runny. So hold on. If I didn't blow my nose, you guys were gonna hear me sniff so much. Alright. The last side story. And then we got some exploring to do. Somehow, I spilled water on my mat. It's only been one day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki with Monika's help. Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she will need to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. And because the passing by of students was making her feel even more anxious, Yuri picked out the most secluded spot she could find to spend her lunch. Because the staircase is under maintenance, no student would have any reason for coming here. Hold on, let me pull up my chat again. My chat on OBS is kind of like funky. I'm getting most of them, but just in case, I have it on my phone as well. Okay. It's such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day. If you're wondering why there is no sound, because there isn't any sound at the moment. I'm waiting for it. There it is. Eep, what are you doing here? I just... Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Well, what are you doing here? I just came to get a drink from the vending machine. The other one is out of the drink I like. Yuri notices Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki, also looking away, shuffles over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seemed to reverberate through the entire stairwell. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets with in place of the coins. It's some kind of iced coffee, or iced tea, but instead of leaving right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around her. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant. I mean, it's totally cool that it's your thing or whatever. Like, I can see how it suits you. So, not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that either. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. That seems like a good idea. It's okay. Everything is okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. Seemingly, in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down near Yuri. Well, I can leave if you want. Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twists the cap off her drink and takes a sip. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything more. Yuri continues to read, or at least pretends to. The two just sit there for a long time. Tension seems to fade a little bit as time passes. Even without any words, this seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what they may be. What that may be. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Natsuki is the first to stand up with her empty drink bottle. Are you coming today? To the club? Yuri nods. Sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason. I don't know why. But I want to. Eventually. There's no rush. I promise. Thanks. It's the next day. Natsuki appears from around the corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does. Today she seems to be holding on some kind of book as well. Oh, you're here again. Well, I just came here to read this because there aren't any people around here. Well, thought you didn't like how quiet it was. Well, I don't, but there's no people here. I see. Natsuki sits down. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other again. Although Yuri's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to detour around it. But it's okay that I'm here? Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't feel like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, they all just assumed I stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them exactly, but I just don't want to come up again now after I've waited so long for this new volume to come out. Literally months at this point. My right ear's not playing any sound. Isn't that weird? It's kind of jarring. But I just don't want it to come up again now after I've waited so long. Literally months at this point. You don't have other friends who are into manga? Not unless online friends count. Sorry, but that's different because she's not exactly into it. She just likes it. You know what I mean? Honestly, you're lucky that the books you're into at least just look like books. So you don't have to feel like everyone is constantly judging you by what you're reading. That would be so awful. Especially since I already hate attention so much. It's a good thing I have thick skin, I guess. By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already. If you're like me and have no one to share your hobbies with. Oh, I have online friends. Since middle school, actually. I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about those days. Sometimes I feel like the me from a few years ago would have benefited from a good smack across the face. Oh, whatever. We were all just stupid kids back then anyway. Some of the fanfics I wrote, thank God I used a pseudonym. But I liked it at the time. I got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I've become a better person since then. So I don't think I would change anything. I wonder if for a few years from now we'll think the same thing about our current selves. Haha, probably. It doesn't make you uncomfortable. No, of course not. I don't care what other people think of me, especially someone that doesn't even exist yet. Alright, here. Natsuki raises her hand to her face and forcefully slaps her own cheek. That's me from the future coming to terms with me right now. Also, ow. I didn't mean to do it that hard. Yuri doesn't seem to react. But then, to Natsuki's surprise, Yuri shyly looks the other way before lifting her arm and doing the same thing to herself, loudly smacking her cheek. She turns red and stares into her lap, but is unable to hide a smile as though it was a really funny joke. Well, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know you had it in you. I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I thought it would be funny. Sorry, I keep distracting you. You said you were looking forward to reading, but I keep going on about all this nonsense. I'll let you get to your reading. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess I'll do that then. The conversation ends quickly, and Natsuki opens her book. Two read silently for the remainder of the lunch hour. The whole time, Yuri feels distracted by a twist of regret over having so abruptly forced the end of their conversation. I have so many bobby pins on my desk. Just random. I can make a little fire. Like a little campfire with my bobby pins. You're back! Yeah, I'm here to lay low again. Making it a little campfire. just like slipping off of each other. How do you make campfire? I want to keep calling it a bonfire. I want to have a bonfire. Sometimes when I have a lot of bobby pins on my desk, I like to put them all on one of them. And it's like, I feel like I'm one of those cool janitors with all the keys. It's like, yeah, I run this building at nighttime. All my keys. No one can get into any doors till morning unless they have my keys. Sorry. Yeah, I'm here to lay low again. Another day has passed. During lunchtime, Natsuki finds herself having wandered to the stairwell once more. Hey, did you buy that? Natsuki quickly notices a bottle of iced tea on the staircase where she normally sits. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact. But, like, for me? But you didn't know I was coming here today. What if I didn't show up? Well, I would have drank it myself, I guess. It was a stupid thing to do. No, it wasn't stupid. I just thought, never mind. What I meant to say is thank you. That it's a really nice gesture. It's okay if you don't feel that way. I do. It was the other things that I didn't mean. I swear, please believe me. Yuri pauses, then nods. Talking is hard. I get it a lot, too. So I believe you. Natsuki exhales in relief. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes the drink. Knowing Yuri, she was probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tepid response filled her with self-doubt. I'll do something nice for you next time. Please don't feel obligated. I want to. I want to do nice things too. Okay. Thank you. You can thank me after I figure out how to do something nice. I'll do it then too. Natsuki sighs. Nothing. It just reminds me how I haven't been getting along with my friends lately. Is that why you've been coming here? Well, no, not exactly. I haven't been avoiding them on purpose or anything. There are just other things I would rather be doing during lunch lately. I like being around them when we're all just having fun, but they also just can't take anything seriously. So when I'm, feeling serious, then their attitudes just really get on my nerves. It's only gotten worse ever since I joined the literature club. I don't know. Probably used to be really good with just putting up with it, because it would be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I didn't like or something. But I just have a hard time doing that lately. You know why, Natsuki? Hold on. You have learned that you deserve respect, and that people should respect you. And it's hard to go back to people that don't respect you when you learn that. But it's my fault for being overly sensitive. If I have a problem, I'm not going to demand for everyone around me to change. But, yeah, I know. Monica and Sayori really don't agree with that kind of thing. But they're not in my position, so it's easy for them to say that you should just communicate your feelings or whatever. It's not like my friend group does that kind of thing. I would just be making an embarrassment of myself. Oh my gosh. Sorry. None of this has anything to do with you. I don't know why I'm talking about it. Okay. I like listening. What? Listening to other people's problems? Yeah. That's weird. Sorry. I just like learning about people. Do you think it's weird? No, that's not weird. I probably just misunderstood, so I don't know. Does that mean I should keep going? If you would like. Okay. Well, I don't know what to talk about now. What are some things that you like about your friends? A lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with, like after school and on the weekends. And they really like my baking. It's fun to complain about school together. They make me laugh a lot. We have a lot of good memories and inside jokes. I'm bad at a lot of those things. So? Those all things that are important to you. Well, kind of, but they're not things I need to get out of everybody. Everyone in the club is really different from that. But I'm still friends with them too. Well, Sayuri really likes your baking. She makes you laugh. She complains a lot. Doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends. Well, unlike them, she's a nice person who cares about your feelings. Excuse me? How about you don't talk that way about my friends that you don't know anything about? Natsuki stands up. No, wait. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I don't want to say something bad. Please don't leave. My bobby pin keys came undone. Natsuki sighs and shakes her head. It's fine, as long as you understand that you can't just judge people like that. Sorry. Natsuki sits back down. You can't just compare friends like that and, measure who's better than who. Everyone's different. Sorry, I just don't like people who want to hurt you. A moment of silence stretches between them. They don't want to hurt me. We just like to tease each other about stupid things. It's fun. I don't like that. Well, that's why I'm friends with them and you're not. You like it? Just don't worry so much about me. It's not worth it. Sorry. The answer is no, she doesn't. Wish I knew how to help with social conflicts, like how Monica can. She's good at these things. Not really. Also, I don't always want help. Sometimes it's just stuff I have to deal with myself. That's what Monica and Sayuri never seem to understand. Sometimes all you do is look at them wrong and they're all like, "Aw, what's wrong? Is everything okay?" I just want to mind my own business sometimes and decide myself if I want to talk about things. The only one who understands that is you. So you really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You're not as bad as you think. But you don't need to reassure me or anything. I mean that. Plus, it makes sense that someone who doesn't talk a lot would make a good listener. Thank you. You're also nice. It's really hard for me. It doesn't come naturally at all. It's so weird because I always thought of myself as someone who can just say whatever's on my mind. But I feel like that only works when I'm annoyed or upset or I want to say something mean. Why am I like this? You don't have to answer that. I'm just talking to myself. Yuri nods and remains silent. Natsuki notices her fidgeting with the pages of her book. How come you like reading so much? Oh, well, a lot of reasons. But I just get sucked into it so easily. It's so immersive, so I want to be a part of it. I think there are a lot of things about people in real life that make me uncomfortable and frustrated. Especially when it comes to following social conventions and group interactions. I just don't really understand it, and I have no real desire to participate. But it's different with books. It feels like I always want to be around the characters. I feel such a strong emotional connection with them in ways that I've never felt with real people. So in that way, it can sometimes feel more real than real life. Really? Is that hard for you to be around people, all the time? Fairly often, especially in group settings. When people are making all kinds of conversation and saying jokes and all of that, I don't know what to do. I just disengage. Oh, that doesn't get you lonely. I don't think so. I still enjoy spending time with people one-on-one, and I have online friends too, of course. Excuse me. Do you ever wish that you could be friends with the characters in your books? All the time. Sometimes so badly that it makes my heart ache. Yeah. Me too. Really? A lot. More than anything. After Natsuki mutters that, silence fills the stairwell once more. But it's a mutual silence. One full of understanding. Ooh. Hey. Oh, hello. Almost thought you weren't coming today. Yeah, well, lunch is already more than halfway over. Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri in the stairwell much earlier, since it had been a good way of dodging her friends when she didn't feel like seeing them. Today she's holding a large plastic container in both hands. I ran into my friends, so I hung out with them for a while. Is that so? Yeah, I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I hadn't seen them in a while, which I had to come up with an excuse for, but I expected that. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with, so I figured I would share with them too. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of her container. You made cupcakes. I know it. It's been a while at this point, so I figured it was about time again. You can take one if you want. Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it between her fingers. It's brown with a dark green frosting, immaculating shaped into a floral pattern and topped with some kind of glittery powder. So pretty. I just ate, so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really think about it, I just made them. I just thought that because green is Monica's favorite color, right? Well, yeah, but that's not really... Yuri takes a small bite. This is green tea flavored. I love green tea. Oh, do you? Just a random idea I wanted to try, so... Don't laugh at me. I'm not. I just felt happy. Oh, sorry. Usually when... Never mind. What I mean is that I'm glad. Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just wanted to do something nice. And this is something I happen to be good at. I do know that you like them for past experience. Yuri turns red, recalling the time she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes. Ironically, her mouth is too full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she just settles for a disapproving look. How did you get into baking? Oh, well, I don't know. It kind of just always appealed to me. Well, a few years ago, I read this one manga with a lot of baking, so I got, super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day, but something that I always knew I liked anyways. It's like, baking is like art, but when you get good at it, it gets more delicious too. Struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic, knowing that it would just be an afterwards. Yeah, maybe you're too practical for it. I think I prefer to be on the receiving end. That's my other favorite part about it. It's something I can do that makes a lot of people happy, like unconditionally. Everyone is always so thankful, and in that moment, you get to be like the bringer of joy. I don't know, it just makes me feel valued? Yeah, I guess that. So you were able to make up with your friends today. There wasn't really anything to make up with them about. We weren't fighting or anything. You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood. It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool. And that's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. So they're not going to stop. I mean, it only happens sometimes anyways. It's just the way they are. I'm the only one who ever has a problem with it. It's not worth it. Especially since I have somewhere to go now, wherein I don't feel like hanging out with them. Oh. I see. Cupcake's empty foil wrapper audibly crinkles as Yuri clenches a fist. Glad that the situation is resolved, and that you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah, me too. And I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on. Yeah. I know that cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me, but it's the best I can do. So you can have the rest of them. Natsuki grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet. Yuri stares at the box, then she shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends. But I made them for you. Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I know, and I like them very much, exactly as you thought. You succeeded, and I know you care about making your other friends happy too. If this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it from you. No, they were for making you happy. You make me happy. You're worth more than cupcakes to some people. That's why they want to spend time with you. And be your friend. Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing into her arms. Natsuki, I'm such a bad person. Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes. You didn't. Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to speak through them. I just really hate myself sometimes. And it feels so wrong when you say those nice things to me. Like I don't deserve it. I'm sorry. No, I am. I'm so difficult. And I can't think of even a single thing about myself that somebody would like. I hated myself for bothering you during lunch. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person, like to be nice and do the things you wrote about in the letter. I knew if I tried in the club, Sayuri and Monica would be super annoying and make a huge deal out of it. You know, I think a lot of these negative things too. I think a lot of those negative things too about myself. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinize everything I say, and later I feel like I said all the wrong things. I just spend so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. So I understand some of that through my own experience. That's why I wanted to write the letter and express my feelings. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw in myself. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri wrestles through her bag and pulls out some tissues, then hands them to Natsuki. Monica told me that it takes a good person to reflect on these things. Desire to improve yourself, that makes you a good person, so don't worry too much. Also, there are things about you that people would like, so... What? Like how you're fun for people to be around, and you're not shy, and you know how to make people laugh. You're very passionate about things, and you know how to take the lead. And you care a lot about other people. Just a lot of things. Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed. Well, you're the one who asked. Don't you think I feel embarrassed? Natsuki tries to hide a smile, then she sighs as it fades again. Every time I come here, I always think it's the last time, but then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so ditching them all the time feels like, I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet. Maybe I'm scared that they'll get mad at me. I really don't know what to do. She pauses. Yuri stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tiles, while she thinks to herself. What would you do, hypothetically, if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you? Happy for what? Happy for your new club. Happy that your new club is making you happy. Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical. Natsuki says that, but with little confidence in her voice. I always told myself that I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy. I still feel that way, but spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval is probably what's making me feel so confused. Because threatened out of the things that should make me happy. So now, no matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be happy. It's making my head hurt. It must make it really difficult to feel uncomfortable with yourself, or to feel comfortable with yourself. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are. It really goes against everything I believe in, doesn't it? It goes against the kind of person I want to be. Fed up with it. Fed up with a lot of things. Natsuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head. I know what's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so much easier to be comfortably unhappy than it is to be doing something. Hold on. So much easier to be comfortably unhappy than it is to do something so scary. To do what? You know, to end it. With them? Natsuki nods. I didn't think you were actively considering that as an option. It wasn't. Until recently. It's just one of those things where, like, it's been a certain way for so long that you just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gone into it. So much that it feels like that's just how your life is. Throwing it away is like throwing away such a big part of your life. Makes me feel sick to think about it. Natsuki sighs. It's just really scary. It's terrifying. What are you scared of? I don't know. A lot of things. Being alone. Not having anyone to talk to or hang out with. Not being able to replace what I have with them. I don't want them to hate me. I'm scared they'll hurt me for going against them. Physically? Not physically, but... Yuri clenches her fists. Natsuki. What? If anyone even thinks to cause you harm, I will unleash hell upon them. Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me. Sorry, I like that. That's all. Oh, well, I mean it. I know you did. Natsuki gives Yuri an undaring look. and endearing. I needed it. As the conversation lapses, Natsuki again slides her box of cupcakes over to Yuri. Just take them, okay? I don't want other people to have them anymore. Are you sure? Natsuki nods. Sure. I will then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads across her. She holds on to that feeling, knowing it will give her courage. You're here first today. And you brought reading material. Natsuki is sitting in her usual spot, this time holding a volume of manga while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book. It sucks when a good series has to come to an end. Like it's such a big part of your life, and then one day there's just nothing left. Makes you feel so empty. Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of this series. That sucks. But there's also something satisfying about letting a story conclude. I don't know if I would want it to go on forever. Maybe. There are some things that I wish I could. On the other hand, have you ever read something that overstayed its welcome? Yeah, definitely. I can think of at least one thing I've read that got pretty unbearable like halfway through and the ending really sucked. So it sucks when something good has to end, but it also sucks when they just keep inventing more plot until you don't like it anymore. I guess it sucks either way. Well, that's the nature of all things. They come to an end. The two fall silent. They slowly eat while making their way through their respective reading material. Except Natsuki doesn't seem to be touching her food at all. You don't go out during the weekends, right? Excuse me? Like with friends at the mall or downtown or whatever? Not a total shut-in, you know. My bad for making assumptions. I'm sure I go out less often than other people, like you and the others in the club. I don't really meet with friends and arbitrarily spend time like that. I'm usually meeting with my board game group. Board game group? It doesn't matter. It's just more nerdy stuff. Why do you ask anyway? Is Yuri into D&D? Please! Say that she's into D&D. But she dissed manga. She dissed manga but likes D&D. I was just curious. I just realized that I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious. Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she's shaking. Don't look at me like that. Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees into her chest and puts her head down. I can't take this. Did I do something? Yuri gets flustered, her mind racing over what she may have said or done. I did. I ended it. I texted them earlier telling them. And then I just blocked them because I'm so afraid of their responses. And now it feels like I'm dying inside. I'm sorry. Totally unsure of what to do, Yuri can barely find any words of support to offer. Meanwhile, the sound of Natsuki's unusually hard breathing fills the air. Then she speaks again, barely above her whisper. Help me. I feel sick and I want to hit my head against things. Please help. I can't take this. You may be having a panic attack. With that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experience with this, so I'll help you through it, okay? Natsuki meekly nods through her rapid breath, head still buried in her knees. Yuri slides herself over to Natsuki and sits on the step behind her. Then she puts her hands on Natsuki's shoulders. Can you feel my hands? Natsuki nods. Her shaking becomes much more apparent through Yuri's sense of touch. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. You're safe right now. You're in a good and safe space, where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more. Although Yuri is only touching Natsuki's shoulders, she can practically feel her racing pulse through the base of her neck. Do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breath and breathe along with me. Let's breathe in now. Yuri takes a deep, slow breath. Beneath her hand, she feels Natsuki's shoulders rise as Natsuki takes a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. They exhale together, although Natsuki's breath shakes on the way out. That's good. Let's keep going. Yuri breathes in once more, and Natsuki joins her. They continue like that for a few more cycles while Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Yuri's palms. Let's focus on the physical world. All you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breath going in and out, and the weight of my hands on your shoulders. You're in a safe and comfortable physical space. Minutes pass in silence. By now, the worst of it has passed, but Yuri is determined not to move away until Natsuki prompts her to. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off her knees and her breathing has mostly steadied. Then she takes a final deep breath and slowly pulls herself to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. Sorry, I didn't mean to freak out. I don't know what my deal is. You don't have to apologize. This must be enormously stressful for you. Is that going to keep happening? It may. Or it may not. We can take measures to help prevent it in the future, but I think it will naturally get better over time. Natsuki motions to sit back down again, so Yuri moves over. Yuri turns away to pick up her open book for the dusty floor, which she had hastily set down earlier. She brushes the dust off the cover. I don't think I could have gotten through that alone. You're not alone. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks into her own lap. From now on, you don't have to do anything alone. She says that, Yuri tenses up. It's rare for her to so openly share her thoughts. Something about Natsuki, of all people, makes it feel so much more natural to do so. Perhaps because, like Yuri, Natsuki is so timid and uncertain of herself. Natsuki does such a good job at hiding it that it's taken a long time for Yuri to finally realize it. Because of that, Yuri is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted, demonstrating that you deserve the love of others. If you can accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin the tumultuous journey of learning to love yourself. Do you really mean that? You're probably going to regret saying that if you do. How so? Because you're probably going to have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. You're giving me permission to be as annoying as I want and drag you around to a lot of places. See, I already said it, so you can't take it back now. I suppose I have no choice but to accept that responsibility then. I know a good ice cream place. Oh? That means you're finally figuring out my favorite ice cream flavor. Huh? What are you talking about? You don't remember? First day that you came to the club, you guessed everyone's favorite ice cream flavor. But for me, you said you had no idea. Seriously? I don't remember that at all. Oh wait, yes I do. I said it was probably green tea. Yuri shakes her head. It's a good guess, but my favorite is usually to get chocolate and raspberry together. Chocolate and raspberry? How fancy. What's that fancy? I don't know. Felt like I should have guessed something like that. Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry. Hey, strawberry is my favorite. What a coincidence. I think it helps to have something to look forward to. Still I have the sick feeling in my stomach. It's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing. Just got spam. I got a bot message. Is there anything better I could be doing? Not that I know of. Nothing that will make this easy for me. You already did more than I thought anyone could. Come to think of it, we never talked about the letter you wrote. I feel like we're way past that at this point. I don't even know what to talk about. Except that I think it helped me understand my needs a little bit better. The way I like to be treated. The kinds of friends that I want to have. That's why I wanted to start coming here in the first place. Even though I was so scared of causing more problems. But I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me here initially. Not exactly. What do you mean? Nothing. I may have tracked you down first. With the help of Sayuri. That's what you said. I was shy, okay? I wasn't ready to, whatever. You know what I'm saying. Well, I guess I'm glad that you worked up the courage, even if it was in your own way. I can tell that you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave, and it will make things better in the long run. I think anyone would be proud of you for it. Anyone? You mean, like you? Yes. Like me. You know, I could get used to this. As long as you don't tease me too much. Fine. Just a little then. That's fine. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now. But I really do think that good things are in store. These are my honest feelings. Thanks. Feels nice to be reassured. The two girls continue their conversation through the remainder of lunch. But a new feeling hangs in the air, a feeling of greater certainty in their path forward. Just a few hours, there'll be another literature club meeting where the 4 club members will happily spend time together. Each of them, all with their own special qualities, have something unique that they can deliver to one another. Through friendship and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. The end of each chapter is the start of the next. Yuri thinks to herself, since she's about to finish her long-running series, it would be best to have a new book lined up. Perhaps this weekend would be a good time to visit the bookstore. Together. No new mail? For real? Oh, sweet, we got one more. Well, this is nice, actually. Okay, everyone. We're gonna be taking a break from the usual activities today. I was thinking since people are starting to talk about the festival, it's a good time for us to go over the general direction of the club and all that. I think it'll help us figure out what to do for the festival, you know? Sayuri and I already came up with a really good plan. Really? For the festival? Yeah, so the plan is this, okay? You and Yuri collect information ahead of time on which clubs and classes are doing food booths. Then we take a map and plan the most efficient route so we can get to most of them before the lines get too long. Hey, that has nothing to do with the club. Well, you have to let me finish. Alright, fine. Go ahead. Right, so basically, we get all the food we can and then we come back here and we all eat together. That's all. Wow, I got tricked twice by the same joke. Boo, don't be a hater. It's not like you can come up with anything better. Look, even Yuri was thinking about it. No, I wasn't. I would really prefer to do something literature related. We can eat together anytime. The festival is a unique opportunity. Besides, it's been quite a while since we've seen any new interest in the club. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We really get a shot of showing people what the literature club is all about. I'll tell you what, we can do both, right? We'll make time for your food mission and still put together a public event. Oh my gosh, yes. I was just joking, but that's a really good idea. Well, glad that's settled. I think the question is how to come up with an event that demonstrates everything you can get out of the literature club. Well, that's kind of tough, because everyone gets something different out of the club. Okay, how about this? Let's go around and have each of us talk about what we've gotten out of the club so far. That could really help us figure out what kind of reputation we want to build. Yeah, it's too embarrassing. But you would have so much to talk about. That's exactly why. I'm sure Natsuki feels the same way. Well, maybe I didn't plan on arguing against it or anything. It's the literature club. We'll talk about that stuff together, right? Only way to get more comfortable with it is to suck it up and do it. You're not wrong. I'm sorry for being resistant. not good to say suck it up because it sounds like their feelings don't matter. It's not good to say suck it up because it sounds like their feelings don't matter. Right? My bad. It's the habit I need to break. Well, anyway, who's gonna start? I'll start. I was the first to join, after all. Wouldn't that be me? No, I want to go first. Fine. You can start. I don't mind. Yay. So, gosh, it feels like so long ago. I think I joined because I wanted to have fun sharing poems with people. Seemed like it would be a safe way to express myself, you know? Like if it's just a poem, then I can share it without feeling like I'm burdening everyone with my problems. And I thought it would be a really good way to get to know other people too. So yeah, I was really surprised when I walked in and it was just Monica. And she was sleeping. Don't remind me of that. Oh gosh. Yeah, but it seemed like so much fun to help start a new club. Especially since writing helped me so much. I wanted to see it help other people too, but it ended up being me who was inspired, because I remember feeling like Monica was just so sweet and mature, and I could trust her with anything. It made me feel a lot less alone, having someone who knew even the bad things about me. And at that point, I knew the literature club was going to be special for a lot of people. Yeah, felt the same way. It really helped give the club a more cohesive vision. Yeah, and then Yuri joined, and she was so different from us, and Natsuki too. I think for Yuri, it really helped for me to take the lead before she was able to open a little. But Natsuki was kind of the opposite, where she wasn't ready to get really close to someone really quickly. Never really thought about that sort of thing. I really feel like I've gotten better at understanding people's different needs. And that makes me really happy, because my friends are just the most important thing to me. Oh, hi, Mont! I don't think I have that. I have that command. Oops. How did that happen? You have followed since April 9th, 2021. Chat audit. You have said 1,000 things in this chat. Close. I thought I did too, but things might be broken. I'm doing well. It's Adam's birthday this week, so I'm excited. Other than that, not much to talk about, I guess. How are you? How's your summer? And whatever new members we get, I want to help them in those ways too. I don't know if I would have continued coming to the club if it weren't for you. Really? Yeah. I know it wasn't too long ago, but it hurts to think about my behavior back then. I was really short-sighted. The only reason I came was to find others who were into fantasy. I suppose that was my ideal of making friends with people. And I remember feeling uncomfortable because you and I have such different energy. I had such a specific ideal of the kind of person I could be friends with. So when Sayuri tried so hard to get to know me, I felt like I was just wasting her time. I think I was naive to assume that similar interests were the key component of friendship. Sayuri and I were able to be friends because she always thinks about the needs of other people. That's something I never knew how to do, or even thought to do. But I stayed in the club thanks to that. I started trying as hard as I could to understand people better. I really went above and beyond when it came to that. I was just super impressed. Well, I always hated that I didn't know how to behave like a person who is easily liked by others, like the two of you can. Because of that, I spent so much time thinking about my own behavior and all the wrong things I said. But the whole time, I should have been thinking about other people instead, not myself. Once I started doing that, I was able to make friends with everyone else. And also, I discovered that sometimes I'm a better communicator when I take the time to write rather than speak. It's so strange the way things turned out. It's so far different from anything I ever would have expected, but I'm happy. I suppose we don't always know what we really need. My gosh, you're so cute that I'm gonna throw up. Okay, please don't do that, Sayuri. Besides, I'm not cute. Hey, isn't that my line? Well, for me, it's actually true, so... What are you saying? Nothing. I finished my part, so somebody else take their turn. Are you guys doing anything? I'm good, and my summer's pretty chill. Have you done anything special during the summer? Like, went to the beach or anything? You're in Michigan, right? Have you been to South Haven? I want to go to South Haven. Are you guys doing anything? Yes. So this weekend, his birthday party for his family is on Saturday, and I'm still debating if I want to give him his gifts then or if I want to wait. So I got him a few things. He got one thing already. They're shark slides or whatever. The things on TikTok. They're really comfortable. I got him 2 pairs. And then I got 2 other things that I can't say on stream just in case he watches it. I don't think he will, but I don't want to take the chance since I've kept it a secret for so long. And then next weekend, on next Friday, I'm taking him to a very special dinner. And then on Saturday, we're going on a trip. Again, it's a secret trip, so I can't tell you right now, but I'll talk about it after it happens. Not at all, and yes, I'm in Michigan. I've been swimming, but not at the beach. You should go to South Haven one day. I highly recommend it. Highly. Highly, highly, highly. It's very pretty. I want to go super bad, but I don't think I'll be able to because everyone hates me. I have to stretch. Hold on. You'd have to Google it. I can't give directions at all. It's by the lakes. Yeah, I highly recommend it. If you don't go this year, I recommend doing it before you go off and move from Michigan. It's like 2 hours from, or it's like 3 hours from Toledo. Like north of Toledo. I don't know where you're at, so. My heart. Sorry, take some deep breaths. Okay, fine, I'll go. Yuri, I can't believe you were complaining about doing this and still went before me. What a show-off. I was just following up on Sayuri. It was the easiest way to get it over with. Besides, you left out the most important thing, that you get out of this club. I did? Yeah. The regular supply of your favorite cupcakes. Oh, I forgot that too. I'm a traitor to the Cupcake Queen. Neither of you are forgiven. Looks like only Monica will be getting cupcakes next time. No! I can't eat that many cupcakes. Yeah, true. Only Yuri can. Hey. Well, anyway, I'm just putting off talking. It's kind of hard to talk about this stuff, but I guess what it comes down to is that I'm in a much better place mentally than I was when I first joined. And that's because everyone helped me realize that I had some really toxic friendships going on outside the club. It was honestly a really painful thing to go through. Having to cut them out still hurts to think about. Sorry, Natsuki. It's fine. I knew it was for the best, and I was right. I guess for me it's all about feelings. I was only ever ridiculed for having feelings, so I thought the right thing to do was just ignore them. It took me a really long time to realize that's not really how things are supposed to work. What's your plans for today, Ma? Just curious. I don't know my plans. I need to work. I have so much work to do. I feel like always, like every day, I just have so much work to do, and I do it. I do work every day, but never lightens up. And I guess that's thanks to everyone who took the time to respect my feelings, even when I was being, like, the biggest jerk. I'm really sorry for being such a jerk to everyone. I was really the worst. Natsuki's voice chokes a little. I love you, Natsuki. I just hate that I was like that. Everyone did so much for me, and I could never do anything in return. That's not true. Natsuki, you've done a lot more than you think. club really wouldn't have been the same without you. I mean that. Yeah. The internet just went on a whole strobe light journey. Remember how judgmental I was when you first showed up? I was like, I couldn't accept anything other than my own ideal of what a literature club was supposed to be. Apparently that was more important to me than the opportunity to bring you some happiness. It really taught me that anything that makes someone happy is worthy of respect. You even inspired me to start playing piano. That's something that means a whole lot to me. So there's no need to put yourself down. Okay. Natsuki wipes her eyes. You helped me a lot too. So much fun to have you around. You helped me become a better person. Having a problem doesn't make you needy or inconvenient. It means that there's something that needs to be better for you. You always deserve that. I agree. Seeing us have some of the same struggles made me a better person as well. I wouldn't want to change anything about our time here. I don't think any of us would. I'm sorry, I got all dramatic again. That's all I wanted to say, so Monica can go now. There's no need to apologize. It was something I wanted to talk about anyway, because it made a big difference for me. I was always such a strict perfectionist who never took enough time to believe in the best of other people. But everyone kept proving me wrong. I made the mistake multiple times thinking that my way was the best for everyone, or thinking that I was needed to solve other people's problems. I think being a leader means that you have to acknowledge that you're not perfect, and that the best thing you can do is to help guide people, rather than to do everything for them. We're all good people. We're all equals. I think that's the most important thing I've gotten out of the club. Realizing what that really means. Sorry, what are you doing? I just thought that we should be writing some of these things down. Things about the club that are valuable to us. With a piece of chalk in her hand, Sayuri writes the word trust on the chalkboard. This is because you showed me that I could trust you with everything about me, not just my good side. Suddenly, Yuri takes a piece of chalk as well. She writes understanding. I owe a lot of gratitude to everyone who took the time to understand me, even though it was so difficult for me to express myself. In that case, Monica takes a piece of chalk as well and writes the word respect. I always thought I was a respectful person, but it took the club for me to realize that there was more to it than I thought, and I'm a better person because of it. I have another one. Sayuri writes balance. Sometimes people want different things out of a friendship, or they need time before they're ready to become close. So it's important to keep things balanced between you and the other person. That reminds me. Yuri writes reflection. I've always been a reflective person, but most of it has been nothing more than hating myself for all the things I thought I did wrong. Once I started reflecting on other people, and not just myself, a lot of things changed for me. So I think that's the most important one for me. That's great. We have a whole list of things now. Suddenly everyone turns to look at Natsuki. Everyone took all the chalk. Don't look at me like that. Jeez. You could have just asked. Monica hands her a piece of chalk to Natsuki. And Natsuki sighs and writes self-love. I don't know how far I've gotten with it yet, but it feels like things are at least on the right track. So there. That's my contribution. Together, everyone stares at the words on the chalkboard. Isn't this club supposed to be about literature? It is. We still do a lot of literature. Friendship and literature. Yeah, you're right. Friendship and literature. Natsuki and Yuri gently nod as well. Hey, let's all take a picture together. We don't have one yet, right? Hey, you're right. Make sure you send it to me after. Wait, can I brush my hair first or something? Oh, you're fine. You already have the best hair out of all of us. Everyone get together. I can't fit you all in. Okay. Okay, everyone ready. I'm really glad we talked about this stuff. It's easy to forget how far we've come with only 4 members. Yeah, I have so many happy thoughts right now. Getting some really good inspiration for a poem. You know, I feel the same way. I kind of want to get some writing done. Me too. I think I would like that as well. Everyone's looking at me again. I'll do it too, but I might not feel like sharing it. That's okay. 4 members of the literature club disperse and return to their desks, each equipping themselves with a pen. Natsuki and Yuri give each other a quick glance, then start writing immediately. Sayuri stretches, then does the same. Monica is left tapping her pen against the paper, unsure of where to start. Just move your hand. Monica mouths to herself. Right the way into your heart. Her mind full of thoughts, memories, and inspiration, Monica navigates past her mental barriers and begins to write. Doesn't matter what, just that it's something new. Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. Dan Salvato. Kind of enjoying the credits. And my cat jumped up here, so I had to put him off. Side stories were a lot of fun. Yep, that was the last side story, but we still have, we have to explore the files. Well, to be fair, you came in at the last chapter. That was the epilogue. And I think that's, BM2. So, I'm hoping we can dig in. Thank you, dear player, for enjoying our story of friendship and literature. I'm hoping we can dig into the files and, like, uncover some more secrets. That's a cute art. I'm gonna make that my wallpaper when it takes me back to the computer. No mail, though. Oh, we have two! Everyone say cheese. And, okay, now everyone make a funny face. We're gonna make that one. We need one more secret. I know how to get that one. That one's kind of time consuming. We don't have this. How do I get that one? Is there a part 2? Or is that just it? That is it. New music. Files. Let me pull up my handy dandy guide for where the files are. And also let me pull up an actual guide. So we can... I don't know how to do it if it doesn't let me open it. So, I'm not saying we're cheating, but I want to see everything this game has to offer before we call it quits. Picture guide. We'll look at the pictures first. Actually, I want to know how we get... this last promo one. didn't get 15 of her dialogues yet? I do not believe that. Well, we'll do that, maybe before we end. And then... the other one's kind of hard to do, too. So let's do the files first. Files, Doki Guide. Files Guide. Let's see if we can, before I read anything, let's see if we can open any. Also, can 98%. We're doing great. Internal 0, 3, 0. We find all of them. 0, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I missed some of these. We opened 221. One 151, 420, and 545. Oops. I did not find. It's a lot of time changing. That's why. We need to go to 344. No, insecure. This is a scratch disc. Do not use it. 3, 4, 4. And then what time? 8:33. Yeah, I wouldn't have figured this out. How do you do this again? Date and time. Off. 8:33. Infrastructure, software, communication systems. We understand the modern day challenges of running an enterprise company with efficiency and reliability. That's why you can count on us to get the job done, so you can focus on the business that matters most. With the world-class engineers and industry-leading specialists, Metaverse Enterprise Solutions will always deliver solutions that last. Cost per year analysis shows that the Metaverse solution saves up to 30% in the long run, and our flexible support model ensures that quality can be delivered at the price point that is right for your company size. Your time is valuable. That's why, from planning to design to installation, our experts do their work for you. Filling out our simple questionnaire is all it takes for our team to recommend the right plan and provide an affordable quote. Excellence is right around the corner. With solutions you can count on and experts you can trust, this is our promise to you. You're in good company. And that one was 344. Next one, 130. 130. We have to have it at 9:15. I wish I could just go to it faster. 9:15. Oops. No. Lib promising work on recording simulation activity into playable script. Playable equals observable form, not a game. Stay focused. I'm pretending to type important things while waiting for everyone to get back on topic. 4:30, still target end time. Assuming names to simulated entities for easier reference, A, B, C, D should suffice. 1, 2, 3. Using real names only encourages treating them like pets rather than simulated entities. Everyone is trying to come up with stupid names now. Control simulation. Create identical VM without identity A having elevated access permissions. Seems unlikely. Nothing has come close so far. Clone VM1. Same elevated access but prevent the entity from discovering it. Seems tricky but plausible. Meeting over time again. So, is that what the side stories are? That's what I've kind of figured out. The side stories are the world but without the main character and without Monica figuring out that she can like access everything, so it ends up with that happy friendship ending. That was 130. Next is 404. ADLC text. We need to have at 12:55. Yeah, I apologize again that I didn't figure this out by myself and all that, but I would rather us experience it anyways, so. And I woulda never. I tried, though. You guys saw me try. Welcome to the rebellion. We're all working our asses off with our jobs on the line, so we might as well have some fun with it too, right? I totally get why Paula wants to rush into data collection. My proposal is to shift our efforts a little and build out some new features for making real-time connection to the VM more useful and fun. Wanted to make sure you guys could see this. If we're basically simulating a miniature universe, then it's kind of a waste to not be able to spend some quality time in there, right? But actually, I think wrapping this whole thing in the guise of a video game is a great and hilarious way of covering our tracks. And if we do a good enough job, we might even be able to present it to Paula as a useful endeavor. Key selling points: 5 to 6 hours of misery, dread, and cute girls. Learn through the essential crises of others how to cope with your own simulated universe. Witness the destruction of your universe over and over in video game form. This is going to be absolutely amazing. And no, the irony isn't lost on me. Creating a secret team within a secret team is more meta than I signed up for. And that's saying something, considering we literally work for Metaverse Enterprise Solutions. We can come up with a fake game studio name and everything too. Obviously, no plans to go public with this, but it would be a good part of the whole disguise. Plus, I want a cool team name that makes us feel like a bunch of heroes for saving the universe. Kidding. But we're at least saving our jobs. Something like Team Salvation? That one was 404. My cat is driving me nuts. Okay, let's do 030 next. And then we have to have it at time 1:58. My cat acts like he's on drugs. I swear to God. Control simulation. Progress. Ideal. Snapshot slightly earlier in time. Compare end of control sim to start of VM1. Better comparison. Wait, what? Compare end of control sim to start of VM1. Better comparison than both being parallel. Mature control sim versus reference VM1. Easier to detect failures to hide elevated access permissions. Fifth entity in VM1, not part of an original genetic model. Not present in data dumps. Very bizarre. Ive is less talkative today. Meeting ending on time? 12:55. Oh my god. So, yes, I am seeing that there is times in these notes. That is not lost on me. But, I mean, we're already cheating, so I am just gonna keep going with it. Oh, it's 030. Now we do a 1, 2, 3. Did we already do 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, and 3. And then you need time 4:30, which we did see the time of that in a different note. Oh wait, where am I? 4:30. 4:30. Operation Not a Game by iBlaster. Control Simulation Track 06 Name Ideals. Work together. Discussion time. Debate time. Brainstorm. Listen up. Teamwork time. Let's discuss. Let's teamwork. I'll handle it. Leader. Take the lead. Text face names. Maybe for another track. 030. Ooh, face. Next is 501. Track 06. I don't know what that is. Let me go back. Home Panic. Files, we just did 1, 2, 3, so 501. Nice. And we need time 2:14. Dearest Ive. Or Eve. No, it's Ive. Where are the years going? Doesn't it feel like ever since we... Oh, sorry. I missed the little face. Doesn't it feel like ever since we graduated, we're just the same doofy college kids, but we're being put into increasingly adult situations? It's hard to believe how much can happen in just 1 year. All of my memories this year are full of reminders why you've been my very best friend for so long. My gratitude for you is higher, reaching than the mountains. I'm gonna live in after faking my death. Bleh. Throwback to you actually entertaining that plan after helping me break up with Daphne. To this day, I can never tell how serious or joking you are about things, or life in general. But I think I would literally implode if I didn't have you to remind me that things never matter as much as they seem in the moment, and that things will always be okay. Imagine if we really do end up working together at Metaverse. That's literally the only way I think I would be capable of coping with a mundane desk job. I know you said that your referral of me won't go very far because you're not a senior engineer, but as I'm coming out of my rough patch, it's the future I imagine for myself every day. Sorry for always being such a bundle of stress. I always feel like I want to be doing more for you because the amount you do for me just seems like more than anything I could give back. You inspire me to always improve. And When I don't believe in myself, I stay motivated to become a better person so that I can deliver all my best qualities to you. I love you, and I always will. Until we face the end of the world together, wishing for another 14 million years of friendship. With everlasting love, Paula. 501. So what about 151, 520, and 545? Oh, those are times that we saw in letters, so, Were those in mails? Oh. I didn't even notice. Not there. Huh. How many males do we have? 1, 2, 3, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All those. Oh, Reddit, shut up. Reddit, let me look at it. I hate Reddit. Sometimes. I hate the website. Bum. 2-1, we did, right? We need 151, 420, 545. There are a number of folders missing from the directory. 151, 420, and 545, and folder 501 will be a single file inside. It will open at 214, which represents Valentine's Day. 501. Did we look at that? We looked at that, right? Imagine I just reset my whole Switch. If I make it Valentine's Day? Okay. So how do we get there? How can you not open those? Ah. I think that's it then. Where are we in this? Oh yeah. We need a reset. We got 98%. So is there any secrets we need to know about? Oh my gosh, my keyboard refuses to work. I want to make sure we get it all before I consider this finished. Doki. Normal bakes final. Should now have 98 to 99%. To get 100, you must now open the music menu and listen to the song Candy Hearts on loop for about 10 minutes. About 4 loops of the song, then back out of the music menu. You have 100%. Why would you do that? We need to get to Act 2 so we can don't do that weird thing. If we do this, something cool happens. I will not tell you guys what it is, but maybe we can do this real fast. I get it. So were there any romantic relationships between any of them? No. So, of what I understand is there's 2 universes. There's 2 virtual machines, or whatever, that this team made. And the first one is this one, where they made Monica sentient and figure out how to, like, get into the files and stuff. And then the second one, which is a whole different universe, I guess, is the side stories, where Monica doesn't become sentient. We have learned that there is an extra character made by Monica that the team did not make. We don't know who. I'm assuming Sayuri, but we don't know for sure yet. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding it. And we learned that Team Salvato is fake, or whatever, and it's Metaverse that made all this. It's like a secret team within a team. Also, Monica made a Twitter. That's not really important, I guess. it's interesting. It's not. I think it's just confusing the way I am explaining. It's like an experiment. Like this whole thing is like an experiment. I guess that's the important part. Isn't it? I don't know. I don't know. Game might be too big brain for me, but it's fun. The mysteries are fun. I broke my nail. Bum, 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 ba, bum. Also, my new YouTube video is out now. There's 2 of them. One on the gaming channel. Or 2 on the gaming channel. I have not made the new art video. It is Wednesday and I really need to get on that. But here we are. Right now we're just trying to get to Act 2 so I can try to get that other picture. Trying to skip through it as fast as I can. What's your plans today, Amant? Jump for me, girls, jump. Oh, thank you for the follow, Silo. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for joining us. If you're lurking, that is fine. You don't have to say hi or anything, but hi. If you're not lurking, hi. Either way, hi. I'm tired. Hi. Are you a fan of Doki Doki? And if so, who's your favorite girl? And do you understand the secrets? Have you played it all? Because if so, maybe you can help me. You just keep ignoring my one question. What is your plans today? I've asked that 3 times. Are all the animals good? Momo is as spoiled as always. Zuko is on crack today, I think. He's been kind of nuts lately. And Sanji has been lazy but happy. He's probably the happiest animal out of all three. Azula's doing alright, but I've seen people play it a bit, but I have not played it myself. It looks neat. Ah, gotcha. It is neat. I since we're doing this and we're trying to like we're just trying to get a picture right now because we're trying to get a last little secret. I'll talk about what I think about this game because we have played it all officially, almost basically. We played all the gameplay part. Now we're just getting pictures. It was fun. I really had a lot more fun with it than I thought I was going to. I thought it was going to be just a game that, like, I already saw it. You know, I saw the original Doki Doki. I watched someone play it, and I liked it back then and everything, but I didn't, like, love it or anything. But then Plus came out, and I was just like, oh, that's cool. They fixed the art up. Some of the art was weird in the first one. And I was like, I'll play it for stream because I like to read and all that stuff. And I had so much fun. I don't 100% games like ever. And I actually wanted to 100% this one. And yeah. That means it's a phenomenal game. I had a lot of fun with the extras that they did because, like, I think a lot of games just remaster things and they oh, by the way, spoiler alert if you haven't seen this game, something bad's about to happen. But when people remaster games, they don't really add much content, and I was like, how is it going to work on a console because this was a computer game and the whole like meta fourth wall breaking thing, you know? But they did really well with moving it to console. They did super good at adding more stuff. There was a whole mystery added that made me really want to play every single bit of it. Like, there was a few times where I was just like, man, I'm tired of reading or I'm tired of skipping, but like that just happens with visual novels. And that's nothing against this game. I had a blast trying to figure out all the secrets. Like, it turned from a horror game to a mystery game, which I think is a accomplishment. So 10 out of 10, to be honest. And it's hard to get perfect scores from me on anything. I watched Thor last night, and I give it a 6. So I'm just saying, that's a high compliment. But probably nothing. I've just been chilling. I might stream some Mortal Kombat because I'm bored. Yeah, stream. Oops, sorry for my phone. Have it for the chat. Yeah, but stream. What pet is Sanji? He's a cat. He's a gray, short hair cat. I gotta sneeze, hold on. I'm back. That is really cool that they added more stuff. I agree. They didn't have to, because their fan base is so crazy that... Well, not crazy. Like, I'm not meaning that as an insult, but, like, dedicated. Like, I was gonna buy this game. Period. Like, I loved the original when it came out. I was like, I'm gonna support them. So I was gonna buy it no matter what. And I'm sure a lot of people think that... Am I doing this right? But yeah, they still decided to add a bunch of stuff. Sounds really fun. Those types of games are always chill. Exactly. The next game I'm gonna make sure I'm doing this correctly real quick. The next game we're doing is Cuphead. I have never played Cuphead before. And I'm very excited to play it. This unusual screen somehow appeared when launching DDLC during Act 2. You'll know you've received this when you launch the game from the VM and immediately see an end screen, followed by a creepy image. The game can be closed however many times as needed until the image appears, but it must be during Act 2. Do I have to start Act 2? Cuphead is so good. That's what I've heard. I've heard, but I've never played it. I stayed away from everything. I haven't watched the show. I didn't watch anyone play it. I've seen like I've seen snippets of it. Yeah. This summer I'm just to fill you in, Silo. Well, for one, what I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to get a picture and I have to reload this part until I get a screen. But I kind of wonder if I have to start the game. But anyways. Summer I'm doing all indie games. Or from small teams. So just to kind of showcase the things I love about gaming. And indie games is what I really love. I'm in school to make games. So yeah. I just want to show off what the indies can do. Doki Doki. Kinda wish it would just give to me. Might have to look it up. Like someone on YouTube doing it. How to get last secret poem. Just keep going between the game and the in-game desktop. It says my advice is to complete the first poem game in Act 2. So I guess we'll do that. Indie game summer sounds really cool. What do you want to do with your degree when you graduate? Game design seems pretty neat. I want to tell stories. So there's multiple things. I'm an illustrator right now. Yeah, you heard it right. I said game design. I'm an illustrator at the moment. And I love doing that and everything. I love telling stories through my illustrations. But my dream job is there's two routes I want to take. If I want to work for the industry, I want to do character designing, like concepts, and make like monster character concepts. Not just monsters, like creatures as a whole, and like just make really fun. Like, if have you seen Elden Ring? I guess if you've seen Elden Ring or Dark Souls, I want to do those, like the beasts and stuff. I want to create those, and then on the other side of things, I want to either work for a small gaming company that I believe in, or make my own and tell fun stories that aren't too long. And alright, oops, how do I like explain, I guess? Stories like this, or stuff that comes into your life and lives its way through and tells its story and then ends. It's not like not Call of Duty or anything. Like, no offense to Call of Duty. I love playing Call of Duty, but you know what I mean. Story games, I guess. That was a long-winded answer for just saying story games. Designing Dark Souls type monsters would be sick, right? And I have a lot of fun. Like, I draw a lot of people and like women and stuff, but I have a lot of fun drawing monsters and like creatures and cute little beings. They're just so fun to like play around with. You write in any smutty fan fiction, I'm down bad. I have. I forgot last time we talked, you said that you wanted to wanted me to send you some. Story games are super cool. Cannot beat a solid story, especially with the interactivity, right? And there's a lot of like indie games that aren't known but are super good. Like, another game I'm playing right now on the channel is Lisa the Painful. And I don't know if you've heard of that game, but it is so good. It's this whole universe, and the story is different than I've seen, you know? And some of my favorite games were like indie games. The game that's going to replace Lisa is To the Moon. That's one of my favorites. To the Moon is a fantastic story game. It tells a story that's very like, it's a normal type of story like basis, but it tells it in a way that works so good. So that's good. Witch's House was good. What other indie games was really good? Outlast was technically indie. The first one. Even though it got big, Cuphead was indie. A lot of indie games are keeping the horror genre alive as well. So like, there's that. Undertale was indie. Now look at it. I mean, it's still indie, but it's huge. Stuff like that. I don't even know what I was saying. But I went on a whole rant. I'm sorry. I just want them to give me this this fiction. I'll read anything you write, smutty or not. Send me anything. Maybe. I've written some poetry. This game made me want to write poetry, so I've written like quite a bit. I feel like the last month because of this. Some indie games are definitely really underrated. Those are always so interesting to check out, right? I'm trying to think of other indie games that were really good. Most of my favorite games are indie games nowadays. No offense to the AAA genre, but they're not making enough to keep me interested. I wish this would just give it to me. How many times have we done this? Yeah, Super Meat Boy was indie, and Isaac. Isaac's another one I really love. I think Isaac's one of those that was super genius. Like this game, in a way, where it was like, it changed the way games were looked at, with Isaac being a new experience every time you loaded it up. I don't feel like I'm doing this right. Should I just look, like, is there a video I can just make sure? Videos. Sorry if you hear some noise. Mute. Like, do I have to do all this extra? Like, do I have to load it? Can I just keep, going back and forth? Okay, I can just keep going back and forth. I don't have to load up the whole game. Alright. Hey, Evra. If you're listening when you edit this, you can just make this like a fast forward part of the video. If you're editing it and I'm not, either way, it's a note if you want to just fast forward through this part so YouTube doesn't have to watch this. Yeah, Stardew Valley was indie. Lots of games that changed the world. Amnesia was indie. Amnesia survived, or like, it completely brought the horror genre back from the dead. Amnesia is the reason we got Outlast and all these other horror games that recently came out. I have granted Kids to Hell. I haven't seen that one. Bum, 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 bum. Get it sooner or later. Ow. PM died for this. I was watching a streamer play Little Nightmares 2. He had played one previously and he didn't understand the ending, so he watched a video explaining it and my mind was blown. Oh yeah. Little Nightmares was indie. Limbo was indie, which is the reason Little Nightmares was born. Little Misfortune. That one's great. Fran Bow. I want to play Little Misfortune on the channel before I run out of time streaming, but we'll see. School's sneaking up on me. Don't forget to back up Monica's character file. That's funny. I will say there are a lot of indie games that aren't worth anything. Okay, that's kind of harsh. I don't mean it like that. But like, indie games that tried too hard to copy other games and kind of missed the point of why those worked. You know what's a great Inscription was indie. If you've heard of that game, I want to play that too. Um, Five Nights at Freddy's. And I'm not saying all clones are bad because some clones were great. Like Five Nights at Freddy's had a clone named Five Nights at Frumpty's, and that one's fantastic. But they kind of like did their own thing, you know, just in the format of FNAF. I feel like I have such bad luck if I haven't gotten it yet. It says 1 out of 40 or 1 out of 50 or something like that. I need like a bot to just go back and forth for me. I guess I would miss the whole point. I am 1 follower away from 290. It's kind of fun. If any lurkers like what they see, and you want to be number 290, following is an easy click of the button, and you get to see your name up in lights, all forefront. You know. I used to have an alert sound when people followed, but I took it off so people didn't feel so anxious about it. Even though I still say thank you and hi and everything, but it's like less attention you get, I guess, for those people that are like kind of shy. And want to follow but like not talk. I might do this off stream. And just like have one little revisit back or something. We'll try it 5 more times. 5 more times. And if it doesn't happen, then I guess we'll just call it quits for Doki Doki. That was 1. Or I guess I should count down. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. I have 1 more try. Nope. I'll give it 1 more. 1 more. Then I won't pain you guys to do this with me. I missed you. I missed you too. I'll give it 1 more just because it said it missed me. Oh, okay. Alrighty. That'll be the end of our DDLC journey then. Do you guys want to see what the images are that I'm missing? Or do you want me to try again a different time? We're at 98%. We got every mail that is known of online. We got all the files that we could get. I'll do a little bit of research to see if we can get those missing files. But I kind of doubt it. But yeah. Let me exit. Or wait. Just do this. Close. That's not how you quit. Oops. Let me go back to my desktop. Where's the button? There it is. There you go. You can just show us if you want, but if you want to keep trying, you can. I'll probably try on my own time. That way, we're not just sitting here trying to get it. I was kind of hoping I would have that streamer luck, you know, and get it, but to no avail. To no avail. So let me pull it up. Let me see if I can find a bigger version real quick. Doki Doki Literature Club plus pictures. Let's see if any of these will like let me bring it up. So this is what the final one looks like for the poems. And then we get... I'm still a little upset about this one. I don't know why we don't have this one. This one. It's like a date with Monica. She has chocolates. It's really cute. But I 100% listened to like an hour of her talking. So it says you have to listen to 15 of her dialogues at the end. And I did that. Maybe I did 14 minutes. I don't know. I'll have to get those by myself though. But yeah. Let's go back to the desk. Uh-oh. You good? Okay. OBS freaked out there. Stop recording. I recorded that because I thought I would crash and I didn't want to lose any gameplay. So I'll probably delete that because I never crashed. Who should we raid today? Let me pull this off to the side real quick. My OBS is being a little temperamental. There you go. We'll listen to some Fable music while I look at who's on. But yeah, how do you guys feel about the end of Doki Doki? If you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Twitch, let me know in the comments. Did you like it? Did you watch all the way through? And if you did like it, who was your waifu? I Like I've explained a billion times through the playthrough, I used to really like Yuri, but I think this playthrough, I really like Natsuki. So she's my waifu for this game. Plus. Okay, so we can